you said that. Slow that, bro. Slow, yeah. That's fine.
You see it? It's a bit for a minute. You take a second to settle. Which one do you want to switch to? I know yours.
Show yours. So it's in hotspot.
Yeah. You're gonna have to. Testing 1 2 1 2. It's kind of okay. Alright, man. Praise be to Yahweh. Double honor to the elder apostles, the elder bishops at Great Millstone who are well taught us his truth. Salutes to all the sincere yeah, man, you know, we're out here again another week, so we're just gonna get into some prophecies and that. You know what, let's go into 2nd Ezra 13 from the top, and then we just go in the spirit. Check it.
2nd Ezra 13 from verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Right, so this is talking about the chariots, man. Now, that's what, you know, through the spirit we're going to go into. Let's talk about the chariots and the means of our deliverance. Okay, the means of our deliverance and the chariots, right? Okay, so the chariots, they don't obey the laws of dynamics as far as mankind or Esau. No, that's alright, no worries, you can go through. No, go through, it's all good. Okay. Have a nice evening.
And you, sweetheart.
Alright, take care. Yeah, so they don't have to obey the laws of physics and aerodynamics. You know, they can just go all over, you know. Now you could be like, well, that don't make sense. No, it does make sense. You just ain't discovered that. Alright? Because remember the scripture says knowledge shall be increased. But it never said the Lord's going to give Esau all. They didn't say that. Just because it got increased don't mean you have the full measure. Yeah. So it got increased, you can do certain things. You know, this week I've seen a lot of videos about like historical videos on Concorde and that. Was it like 3 hours from New York to London?
Oh yeah, man.
You know, breaking the speed barrier and that. You know, you could see the sun set somewhere else, and then like you can catch the same sun in the another country, man, because you just broke that
Sound barrier.
That sound barrier, man. You know, so that is impressive. But guess what was more impressive than is the chariots? Let's go.
Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword.
Right, now there's two types of fire that the Lord is bringing. The Lord is bringing the fire of the ICBM,
Back.
So yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, the ICBMs, and then there's the fire from the chariots, man. To read that again, huh?
Isaiah 66 and verse 50 again. It says, for behold, power will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
Right, there you go.
I'm saying there's two types of fire.
Yeah, there's two types of fire: the ICBM fire and then the concentrated fire, the laser beams. Right? That's gonna be overkill, basically, on the landmass of America. Okay, that thermonuclear fire plus them chariots, man. And now go back to Ezra's, where it said that the voice went out. All they were burned by the voice.
This is back in Ezra's 13. Yeah. This is verse 4. Actually, let me read verse 3 for context. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
Right, so the voice that went out of his mouth is talking about now being fired from them chariots. Now you can say, oh, this is magical and this is oh. But then you see these kind of scenes played out in movies.
Yep.
You've got to ask yourself, well, where the hell did they get these concepts for? Right? Let's name some of them. You got Independence Day,
War of the Worlds.
There's a good few. Even like end time events of like Jacob's Trouble, all these kind of things, they show you that. Where do they get these storylines from?
Or even what's the recent one? Don't Look Up.
You don't look up. You know, all these things, man. They're getting these concepts from the scriptures, and of course they'll modify nature,
Creative license.
you know. But at the end of the day, it's coming from a biblical stance, man.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind is another one.
Yeah, that's another good one. Okay. So, spaceships, if you will, coming back, invading Earth's atmosphere and blasting concentrated fire, aka laser beams, is not a far-fetched concept, right? Right? And you know what? In the past, we've seen, I'm talking about Israel, we've seen chariots over the whole nation.
Oh yeah.
The fathership. All right, let's get a precept. Hold that. Let's go to the one where it says that the Lord held back the Egyptians with the fire.
Okay.
And he I think Moses said it, with the blast of your nostrils, you did open the sea. Let's get that. What the hell do you think that was? That was a chariot. So we've in the past, we've actually seen the chariot do battle for Israel. And then, you know, we can hold things like as birds flying. Then we'll go back to 2nd Ezra's, the 13th chapter. And yes, we believe wholeheartedly that is how we're going to be delivered out of here. You ain't going to be delivered out of here by financially educating yourself and the Black Wall Street, and if the people learn finances and look man, Jake has done that already. And shit, those kind of setups did kind of like help and liberate Jake a little bit. But then what did Esau do? He came and smacked it down. Because that's not the way of our salvation. You know, that save thyself spirit. Nah, man. How do you save yourself? By cleaving onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai and understanding that He's the Savior. Isaiah 43 and 11. I, even I, am Yahweh, and besides me there is no Savior. Matthew 1:21. Ye shall call him Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins. How the fuck can you save yourself? You can't save yourself, man. The Lord can put you in the bull bracket, for salvation, which is you know, being involved in this ministry. And according to predestination, as mentioned in the book of Peter's, right? Then you know, you're gonna get saved off of the back of that, because the Lord put you in the right vicinity, man. You see, we're just in vicinities. You got different worlds, man. You know, you got the music world, you know, and then you got You got the
Sports
art world, you got the sports world. There's so many worlds out here, man. You know,
warfare.
the world of warfare. So you got people in. You could be walking up and down, passing people, and like I don't know, you could have like a fucking darts champion throwing darts at a board all day. Just walk past you. You don't even know that he's a darts champion of England. Or you could have a fucking gaming champion. And he's just walking by. You don't even know he's a gaming champion because you're close by physicality, but you're in two separate worlds. So we're around these people in this world, but we're in a different world. We're in the world of the truth. Okay? Our time is consumed by this. Our whole mind is calibrated by this. Our actions are weighed by this. It's all about this. We're in a different world. Now you try and invite someone into your world, I just don't get it. You know? I just don't get it. Like, nah. What's that? Nah. You know, you try. No, you have to see. Yeah. You have to see that Jesus ain't the name. You know what I mean? And he's just looking at you like, so what?
That's what it says here, though.
Yeah, but that's a different world. He's in a different world from you, man. You know? That's a lesson. So what world are you in then? Let's read, man.
This is Exodus 14, and I'll start at 22. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. The point, 24. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians.
Yeah, the cloud is what? The chariot, man. You know? Now, someone got a hold, for you were all baptized in the sea.
Yeah.
Because who was in that chariot, man? You know, Yahushua was in that chariot. Okay? So, let's keep reading in Exodus.
25. And took off their chariot wheels, that they drave them heavily, so that the Egyptians said, let us flee from the face of Israel, for the Lord fighteth for them against the Egyptians.
Yeah, go on.
And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen.
Right. So that's what happened. Remember, the Lord put the fire out of the chariot, which was that laser beam to hold them back. And where's the verse where it says the nostrils? With thy nostrils,
The blast of thy nostrils,
the blast of thy nostrils, thou did open the sea. You've got to type that in there. Because that's the point I wanted. That shows you that that chariot was doing warfare, man.
Okay, yep. This is Exodus 15 and verse 8. And with the blast of thy nostrils, the waters were gathered together.
There you go. So you're gonna have a simple Jake read that, right? So God, yeah, in heaven, he blew out, you know. You know when you got a baby where they got bogey in their nose, they go blow baby, blow, and you try to blow the bogey out their nose, you know, and all that shit. But before that, you gotta do it. You know, that sucking it out shit. But then when they get a bit older, you try to teach them to blow their nostrils. And then, you know, blow. Yeah. Come on, man. They ain't talking about that. It's talking about what happened was there was a massive chariot, and the Lord caused a blast of wind to come out of the front end of it, man, and open up the sea, which is the Gulf of what? Suez.
Precepts to back up your point that you called for.
Yeah, go on.
1 Corinthians 10 verse 1. Moreover, I would not that ye should be ignorant of how that ye... Forgive me, read it again. Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
Break it down.
Yeah, so basically what that's going into is that when we was led out of Egypt to the Exodus, we all passed through the Gulf of Suez with the waters on each side and the chariot above us, and that represented the baptism of the nation. We were basically baptized into the Lord through that passage through the Gulf of Suez, that you can see, what do they call it, in the Ten Commandments. In that movie, you see the example of that. Yeah, let me read it again. 1 Corinthians 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea.
There you go. So that cloud is talking about is the chariot. Okay? That chariot. And Yahweh Shai was in that chariot. Go on.
And all were baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea.
There you go. Because we walked through on the dry ground, but there was the 2 walls of water either side of us, and we walked through it, man. And then the cloud was over us. And then the Lord is cold. What he did was he kept the laser beam holding back the Egyptians. And then when we were on the other side, he took off the laser beam. And them dumbass Hamites, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to proceed. they proceeded into the sea, thinking that the Lord's gonna keep it open for them. And that didn't happen. What happened? The fucking thing closed on them, man. You know?
You come get your stats and leave that alone. You won't do anything.
Nah, that's right, alright, man.
Come on.
This
There
way.
you go.
5 and 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it.
The chariots in these last days are a curse unto the heathens, man. Now it's not a curse unto us. Mate.
Oh, that's the Jeremiah.
Yo, bro, shut up.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? We see the chariots, we start rejoicing because we know that it's in our favor, man.
This is, you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Jeremiah 10, I'll start from verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Yeah, so you know, again, we mentioned it last week. It came out that before he died, Prince Philip, he was an avid, what do you call it? Stargazer, man. You know, he just had a deep infatuation with the telescopes and looking up. So you know he was seeing some stuff.
Well, so he was getting the inside scoop on all the NASA feeds.
Yeah. You know, I mean, remember that time something just went past the camera and just shut it off.
Yeah.
You know.
Or they loop the same footage over and over again.
Yeah. Because they don't want the average person to be seeing that, man. Because there's going to be questions out there. You see what they want to do? They want to keep the whole
narrative.
They want to keep the whole narrative magical. Oh yeah, other existences and beings, and it's just aliens. Yeah, you know, it's all magical, man. It's just aliens, dude. Like, come on. They want to keep it all Disney-fied for you. You know, not realizing that that is very fucking real. Go ahead.
Exodus chapters 14, 27 says, And Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to his strength when the morning appeared, and the Egyptians fled against it, and the Lord overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea.
Yeah, so he caused, I mean, when he says overthrew, he caused the wind to stop, man. And I did a show on that the other day, and I was, well, not that, but I was doing a show and I mentioned that when the favor of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is over Israel, his curse is over the nations. Because remember, the Lord does everything in balance. So his favor was on us unto deliverance, all right, via his servant Moses. And what came upon the Egyptians?
Destruction.
Destruction, man. And really, Egypt is a Greek word. All right, the real name for them is martyr Zion. Alright? Martyr Zion. Okay? But that's the point. The Lord's destruction came on them niggas, man. And their asses got drowned in the sea. And to this day, they've gone into that body of water on the bed, the seabed of it, and they've seen chariot wheels, you know, all mashed up, broken up. Certain wheels are still intact, and then the other parts of the chariot is all broken up, Egyptian paintings on it, and things of that nature. So how the hell you go and say, ah, nah, that's it, man. You just switch the connection.
His morale was raised down. His morale was raised down because it's the Queen of Heaven spirit that is believed, you know, in the movie. That's really they put it that. And he said, and she said, you couldn't even get Moses. You couldn't even get Moses. So that crushed his.
Yeah, well, that
ego.
That scene, that's bullshit.
Right.
That's
Creative
a bullshit
licensing.
scene because he died. Okay, they want to tell you that he went, because remember in the movie, he was on like the cliff bit and he sent everyone else in, and he stood there in his little chariot. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
You know, what happened was Pharaoh actually went in and died.
Yeah.
Because remember in the movie, she goes back and she goes, let me see the blood of the Hebrew on your sword. Then he drew the sword and like he's gonna go murk her, then he sat on his throne and dashed the sword. And that's the famous line, their God is God. But that didn't happen in real life, man. That nigga went up in the sea and got his lungs filled.
The same shaman after death
Death
by
by
faith.
you know what I mean? Try and make it out like man made it away.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nigga got his lungs filled, man.
He was swimming with the fishes before he even knew he was drowning.
Yeah. Let's go.
You got more on that, Arya?
Yeah, that's it. I've got another one for you though. Okay. Anybody ain't got nothing? I've got something here, right? This is 2 Kings 7 and 6 says, for the Lord had made the host of the Assyrians to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of great hosts. And they said one to another, lo, the king of Israel have heard against us, the king of the Hittites, the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. And left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it were, and fled for their life. Yeah, that's the it says Isaiah 66 and 4. They bring their fears upon them. Now, so as far as when you look into it, it's Moses throwing apparitions upon them in the midst of the heat of the battle. Now, it could have been chariots, or just either Moses can make apparitions where they're hearing noises, or they don't know.
The Lord did that to them Egyptians, man. Remember, that's in Ezra 2, man. You know, the Lord gave them, the sound of crashing water.
Yeah.
You know, we can pull that to back the brother's point. Let's get into that, man. You know, the Lord, and you know what? The same thing's gonna happen on this side. You think it's just gonna be like just one normal day outside, and then here comes Yahweh Shai? Nah, man. Along with them missiles, even you know, and we know it's all bullshit, but even with the so-called 9/11 thing, right? They were saying that they were seeing demons in the smoke.
Yes.
There's videos on
Yeah,
that.
you can freeze frame it, you see the faces.
You see faces in the smoke, man. There was demons, because that was a sacrifice. So them demons were there to bring the demonic sacrifice to Satan. Because remember, when we pray, right, don't the scripture says Raphael takes up the prayers and then gives it to the Lord, and then Yahweh Shai intercedes for our cause? So it's the same thing on the left. You're gonna have them demonic spirits that are there to witness the sacrifice, and then yes, Satan, it got done. You know what I mean? Demons up there, you know. So if that could happen with two skyscrapers, right? What the hell do you think is gonna happen when it's all of America on fire? Plus, remember, America, right, is Babylon the Great. It's the revived Roman Empire again, right? It also calls it Egypt in particular prophecies. Sodom and Egypt, you know? So what's up with that, man? You're gonna have all kind of apparitions going on. Right? Let's go. Go on, Hub.
Ecclesiasticus 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes
Yes,
in the time of destruction.
In that time, the Lord gonna release demonic entities upon the earth. When all hell breaks loose, you have demons roaming the earth, and you're gonna have demons jump on people, man. You know, all them guys locked up in the jail. You know, there's particular quiches out there. They want to get back, man. You know, particular things. You know, people want to settle certain scores and that. You know, they're gonna get fucked up, man. And it says at the time of their destruction. At the time of destruction.
Yes. They pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them.
So who made the demons? Yahweh. Right? And then through Yahweh, he made the spirits, but then how do all spirits come into being? Through Yahweh Shai. So really, who made all spirits? Yahweh Shai. Right? Don't the scriptures say that by him all things were made? Okay. So there you go. Let's go. Switch that to your board.
Second Maccabees 5 and 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, they were seen horsemen running in the air in cloth of gold and armed with lances like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes and drawing of swords and casting of darts and glittering of golden ornaments and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that the apparition might turn to good.
See? You know when people start praying, yeah? You remember when was it? That reminded me, was it Jonah? And then they said every man pray to their God. That, you know, the storm stops. Remember that?
God.
You know, they just said everyone, and even though that's off, yeah, in terms of their gods ain't real, at least it shows you in the ancient world people were more spiritual.
Right.
That's more spiritual at least. Like, well, you know what, yeah, let me just see what's going on and see what's up with my God. In this world, people ain't even doing that, man. They'll say, "Oh my God," but then they don't know what to do after that.
Because their God is themselves. They believe
That's
in
themselves. And then what kicks in? Adrenaline. You know, adrenaline kicks in, and they just start going crazy. Oh my God! And that's it. Yeah, that's it, man. But in the ancient world, even though it was off, people still kind of, they fully believed in their entities, man. You know? So then Jonah prayed to the Most High, and he knew that shit was happening because of him. That's when he said, look, man, and it shows you integrity. A lot of people, yeah, they would like say like, fuck it, the whole ship's going down.
Yeah,
because
so I can make it.
Because I'm not old enough. But then Jonah was like, right then, because he didn't know that the fish was gonna swallow him up. Which, by the way, that fish was a leviathan. He didn't know that. So he was thinking, fuck it then. I didn't obey my power. I'm just gonna kill I'm gonna like do the honor killing. Yeah. And get your house in order. But that's integrity. Like, look, the Lord said go here, and I tried to go somewhere else. It's not working out for me now. All these guys are gonna die because of me, because my God's angry with me. The storm's here. I'm gonna take myself out as a honor elimination. Put it like that. So Jonah had integrity. You gotta think like that. You gotta read into it. He didn't know how the hell you gonna jump off a ship in a storm and oh yeah, because I'm gonna get swallowed by a fish.
Yeah.
How the hell you don't know that? He jumped overboard saying, all right then, that's it. I'm back to my maker I go because I disobeyed him. But the Lord had other plans for Jonah. That's integrity. In this world, fuck it, we're all going down. You know what I mean? We're all going down then.
Reset.
Go on.
Wisdom of Solomon.
And then we're gonna slowly go back to the chariot thing and the deliverance. But yeah, go on.
Wisdom of Solomon 17 from verse 3. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished.
Yeah, call that and read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon 17 from verse 3. For when they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a veil of forgive me. They were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness.
Yeah, so what the Lord did, he smote them Hamites with madness, forgetfulness. What's that thing when you start forgetting things?
Amnesia.
Amnesia.
Yeah,
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, can't.
Yeah, amnesia. Yeah, you know, because
Dementia.
you know, like you put the passport. Where's the passport? You know what I mean? And then you find the passport, and then you lose your baby.
Yeah.
And then you put the passport down. Wait, where's the passport again?
Where's the car keys?
Where's the car keys? So you in that, because the Egyptians probably wanted to get the fuck out of there too. So, but the Lord put them in that constant, like, just panic mode.
Threw them into confusion.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know, running around and shit. I just had it.
Yeah.
And that's the worst one. When you've got something in your hand, and 2 seconds, where the fuck is it?
Imagine the whole nation going through that. So you're screaming, you know, and then the next door neighbor's screaming, and the whole city, just the whole nation, the whole country just screaming with forgetfulness.
Oh.
Oh my God. I keep going. I didn't know about that.
Wisdom of Solomon 17 to 3. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins,
Honey, where are the keys? And them Hamites, man, they're funny, man. Go on.
they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness.
A dark veil. Hey, you gotta fear Yahweh, man. He put a dark veil, and that shows you, like, in certain areas, you gotta be careful where the hell you go, because there's veils over that area.
Yeah.
Like you could go to, like, I don't want to start naming places in England, but you could go to certain places and, like, you're not even a part of that spirit, but just because you're there, it's like, how do I put it? You can't help but be under it, because you're under that vicinity of whatever spirit is over that area. You start, and then if you stay there too long, you start talking like them, then your mind starts thinking like them, and it's like, what the fuck? You're fully assimilated. You know, you could go to these busy shopping areas, you know what I mean, and then, yeah, in shopping cities, you're like, yeah, look at this, what do you think about that, babe, yeah, this and that, yeah, and then you just go there for one thing, but because you get too into the spirit of that, next thing you know, you're on that, oh, I might get that,
Yeah.
then I might get that, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, because there's a veil, there's a shopping demon, you know what I mean, there's a mirth demon, there's a club demon, you know what I mean? He's going to club, the club demon, you know. There's a lot of demons out here. Now certain demons look a bit more well presented. You know what I mean? You got a golf demon. That's a reserve.
Yeah.
That's a demon, because you don't stand like that.
Statue demon.
You know what I mean? You don't observe like that, but you go play the golf with them. You may have a manager at work, you know, as a team gift. Yeah, we're gonna go play golf, guys. Yeah, mini golf. You take you to the golf, and now you just all that shit. That's a vicinity, man. You know what I mean? You got the leisure centre demon. You know, you walk in the leisure centre, there's that chlorine smell.
Yeah.
And it brings you back to that hedonistic kind of, like,
Speedos.
yeah. You know, you go in the David Lloyd, yeah. You know what I mean? You go in them changing rooms, you got Edomites. I used to see it all the time. Edomites with their dicks out. Yeah, so Bob, yeah, how's the wife? Yeah. And it's like, are you not gonna, like, put your shit away, man?
You know?
And it's like, no, because that's the demon. That's that Greek demon. That hedonism. So you gotta be careful where the hell you go, man.
Yep.
Now that don't mean don't go out. No, you gotta go out. You pray before you go out, but you gotta make your lifestyle a very much in and out, in and out. Quick hitting. You know, because if you stay out there too long, next thing you know, it's just that.
They're trying to turn you.
And you try to fight it, but you have to realize that the vicinity thing is bigger than you, because you're there.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Because I remember I was talking to you, Kelly, earlier I was talking to you that when I used to do my late, this is before the truth, this is when I was in that Jehovah's Witness. My late night joggings, right? And remember I mentioned about the Doctor Who TARDIS.
Yeah.
When you go in the TARDIS, right, it goes, and then it comes out somewhere totally different. Anyway, I was doing this late night jogging, what I used to do, don't do it no more. And I ran into a particular, I knew it well, and I ran into a particular spot that I know well. And when I went in, I come out somewhere else, man. Talking about that, what do you call that? Vicinity demon. And I've tried to explain it to certain people that said, and everybody was saying, that sounds like demons, man. So I had no control of that, and I said, next time, let me make sure I don't go down there. I believed I knew the area very well. But once again, I went into a place that I saw and I knew it very well. I came out somewhere totally on the other end of the area, and I had to work my way back, and it seemed like a longer way back I had to get back. So that's that vicinity demon. As you say, we've got to go in and out, even more so now.
I even knew a guy back in the day, in a dojo. This white guy, presumably like, English Edomite, and like he was into the martial arts heavy, yeah. And he had a Moabite demon on, no, he had an Ammonite demon on him. So like, he'll practice the arts and that. He come to say hello. Hello.
That's the old one too.
Yeah, he even tempted now. Collabs.
Old wise dog.
You know what it is as well, yeah? She's cut that the dogs like.
Some good energy to take home.
She's cut that, yeah. Anyways, man. Yeah, this Edomite dude, he had an Ammonite demon on him. Like he grew his hair long, he tied it up like the Japanese people. Like you'd go to his house sometimes, he's got all Japanese shit. He eating with chopsticks. His fucking clothing was all like Moab and what do you call it, Ammonite clothing. And I'm like, wait there a second. Like we all do this martial art, but your whole life has become this. He started talking like an old Japanese dude, and it's like, whoa, man. Like you've got the martial art demon on you, man. The Ammonite thing. A lot that happens to a lot of Jake. That's a new thing. What do they call it? Cosplay. There's a lot of Jake, especially Jake young women. They're into like dressing up like Moabites. You could go somewhere central like Oxford Street, Knightsbridge. You may just see some fucking skinny ass black bitch in like high heel boots, a mini skirt. Her box is almost showing, and some like Moabite makeup and a blonde wig and a handbag, and she's strutting up and down the road. And you've got to accept that as, yeah, that's just human. That's that anime demon.
Yeah, that's a good one, anime.
Anime is a big demon out there, man.
Yeah.
Like,
They call him otaku.
yeah. So again, we was talking about it before, the worlds. You got to be careful what world you're really fucking with.
This is a world, what we're in right now, standing here.
You know what I mean? That's true. You got to be in this world more than you are in other worlds, because now let's not get too over righteous. Can you dabble in other worlds and shit? Yeah. Because that's life. You got to do things, but you got to make sure that this truth takes precedent, takes priority. This world dominates everything else. Hey, you got the world of the job. You got that job world. The corporate world. Yeah, Jackie, how's it going? Yeah, you're right, love. You want a cuppa? Yeah, a cuppa. Yeah, you alright? Yeah, you alright? Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Can I just pick your brain for a minute?
That's all you fucking hear in England, man. Yeah, you alright? Yeah, you alright? Yeah. Yeah, lovely weekend. You curled up on that Dell. You curled up on that Dell. Like that. Yeah.
You check that email.
Oh, it's not responding again. It's frozen.
Yeah, me. You curled up on that Dell laptop. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And there's demons in the work. The IT guy's gonna be an Indian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He smells like fucking death. Okay, I send you code 654321. Yeah, I look at why Microsoft is not working for you. What the problem? How can I help? I send you code. You know what I mean? You type in that code. Yeah, and he goes, okay, and he fixes it. He takes over your screen.
Yeah.
And now the
He's
screen's
moving the
you know
cursor,
what I mean? You know what I mean? And you're sitting there like, what the fuck's happening? He taps into some pages you never knew existed. He fixes your computer, and then some Edomite manager. Alright, yeah. Alright, Bob, alright, get back on that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a world, man. But you got people that their whole life revolves around their job. Certain people don't get promotions, they kill themselves. Oh, I didn't get it. You know what I mean? So, it's dangerous out here, man. You know? Let's read.
This is Galatians 5, starting from verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiach Yahushua have crucified the flesh.
Yeah,
with
temperance, man. You gotta have temperance with, with these things, because, you start delving into things, you gotta make sure it's balanced, man. It's gotta be balanced. Alright? Hey, we're talking about worlds, and you got people that they even treat the truth as like a fact of a world. They got everywhere they go, they got fringes on, they got the armbands on. You go into fucking Tesco with your family. You got armbands. You got a stick in your hand. You know what I mean? Environmental damage. You breaking off tree branches. You know what I mean? And walking around in Tesco with a tree branch.
Like you're about to fight the Red Sea.
I remember this is years ago. It's only about 6-7 years ago, man. I don't know what camp that was. One of these alphabet camps. And these niggas were like 7'5", bro. They looked like twins. They were fucking large. Yeah. They had army boots on, black combat pants, and a black t-shirt. It wasn't ISUPK though. It was a black t-shirt and with gold fringes on with the armbands. And they're walking down the aisle like they're about to, I don't know, on some sort of mission. And they just looked at me, and I just looked at them like, okay, kind of thing. And it's like, nigga, you on fucking pastries out of 17. Like, what are you doing? They were walking like they were going to war. Mean mugging everyone now. And it's like, but nigga, you on the pastries out, man. You here for a loaf of bread? You here for a cupcake? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy, man. So even this, hey, the truth, there's a fine line. You can go off even within this world. Let's read, man, let's read. Go on.
Bring yours out.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of the Lord our power, that he may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Yeah, so these worlds, ultimately, that's a good scripture. Ultimately, it all goes back to Satan trying to divert you from off the truth, man. Remember, wasn't it? Let's get the one where Satan took the Lord to tempt him. Yeah. The Lord went to the wilderness, and Satan came and tempted him. Didn't he offer the Lord the worlds?
This is Matthew 4, from verse 1. And then Yahushua was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights,
and that devil was the top devil, which was Satan himself.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards and hungered. And that's when the tempter came to him and said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
Right, so Satan tried it, man. And again, Satan will come at your current weaknesses. So because Yahushua was hungry. He said, and he was an hungered. So Satan says, right, let me try him with the thing that he's most likely to fold on, hunger. Go.
Verse 5, then the devil taketh him up to the holy city, and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up.
See, so Satan knows the scriptures, man. Because you can try and do something, and then sometimes Satan, you know that's a demon. Like Satan will put scriptures in your head to try justify going off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, you know the Bible actually says, yeah. So technically, you're not technically, technically, yeah, I'm alright with that. You know? How you gonna take a man to a pinnacle and say jump? And, well, the Bible says that, the angels, you know? And you gotta remember, Satan has got power too. And Yahushua was physically weak at that point because he hasn't eaten, right? So to take a man up, look, man, what was it? The vehemency of his strength when the angel picked up, what's his name, by the hair, Habakkuk and that. You know, Satan can do that too. You got Satan just transporting your house. Now you got wind blowing, you looking down, and all that shit, man. You know, and then Satan started showing him. We're gonna read it.
And Yahushua said, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt thy Lord thy power. And the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
So Satan showed Yahushua holograms of kingdoms to come. You know, he showed him the current Roman Empire at the time. Okay, I believe you had the current Caesar. When was it? Augustus Caesar. I think so. Yeah, Augustus was the Caesar when Yahushua was on the scene, and then you had Pontius Pilate was the governor over Israel. Because remember, we'd been conquered, and then pretty much it was an agreement had been made. Essentially, is what I'm saying. The agreement was you can worship your God, you can have your temple, but you've got to pay taxes onto Caesar. So Augustus Caesar was the Caesar on the seat at the time of Yahushua. Okay, and then you had bullshit kings that were set up as an alliance agreement. That bullshit king was who? Herod. Okay. Alright, you had the Antipater, and then you had Herod's son, because Herod is not a name, Herod's a title. Alright? Because remember, Herod died. Remember the Lord, the angel told Joseph to take Mary, take Mary and Yahushua to Egypt until I bring thee word. That Herod died. But then there was a Herod that was on the scene when Yahushua got sent to him when he got arrested.
Yeah.
So that shows you Herod's not a fucking name. Herod is a title. Just like Pharaoh's not a name. Pharaoh's a title, so it's always going to be passed down. Pharaoh, Herod. So it would have more than likely been Herod's son. The Herod that was on the throne when Yahushua was a baby, he died, and then his son took over. That means, I don't want to get too deep into it or anything, but that means Herod at the time probably was about at minimum about maybe 2-3 years younger than Yahushua, if you do the maths. So that Herod was probably 30 or 29 at the time, because he would have taken over in succession from his father. Because remember, they said kill all the babies 2 and under. So give and take a couple of years or whatever, however long it took. The Herod that saw Yahushua when he was arrested was either the same age, or no, not same age, he had to be younger by default, but slightly younger than the Lord. Let's just put it like that. So you do the maths, you get into the time and the history, it all adds up. Right? So he was a bullshit king set up over Israel. But really it was a political move that was basically saying we're in alliance with the Romans. Yeah, we can have our temple, yeah, we can worship our power, but at the end of the day, the state was governed by who? The Romans. That's why you had Jake that were hard up about it. Well, I ain't fucking doing that. I ain't paying taxes. But then the Lord, you remember then they gave him the denarius?
Yeah.
And he said, whose inscription was it? Is on it? Caesar's. So you give to Caesar that which is Caesar's, and give to the Most High that which is the Most High's. Right? And then the total takeover happened when? At 70 AD. Which the Lord told them about, man. In Matthew the 24th chapter. You know, don't even go in your house and take your coat. Just fuck off. Just flee. You know, just get out of there. And they didn't listen, and they built the wall around it. And then they got slaughtered, man. Okay. So was Yahushua a prophet too? Yeah, he was. They even said, there's a place in scripture that even says that. Yahushua the prophet from Nazareth. Now he's above the office of a prophet, but he did prophesy on particular things that took place back then, a couple years later, man. And as they say, 70 AD really kicked off around 63 AD. Okay? So you gotta get into that history, man. Anyways, let's go back.
Back in Matthew 4. It says, verse 8. Again the devil taketh him up into an exceedingly high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shall they serve.
Right, there you go. So Satan showed him New York, London, you know, Sydney, Australia, Dubai. Oh boy, Dubai. Dubai, you know. Yeah, Satan showed him all of that, you know. And Yahushua rejected it. So we talk about deals. We talk about Jake getting deals. Yahushua got a deal, you know. And you got the lower guys that's forcing you to sign these deals. Yahushua got offered a deal by Satan himself, the top guy on the left. That's why the scriptures say we got a high priest that he knows basically the shit we go through, the things we have to, you know, he knows our infirmities and all the struggles and the mental battles and the propositions that get put our way. Yahushua knows. You gotta say it like that. That's that modern English. Yahushua got offered a deal. And he didn't have no music manager to advise him. No, don't do that. Don't, you know, because don't sign that contract. It was just him and the top guy on the left. You know, but then Yahushua is over Satan. You know. So Yahushua didn't sign no deal, man. Deal. You slide that paper across the table, give you a glass of water and the ink pen, and your hand is shaking. You know, you're drinking some water, go put it down. You know, getting that pen out, trying to sign shit off. You know, the Lord knows about that, man. But you know what he did? He fought Satan with the scriptures. So what do? We fight Satan with the scriptures. Simple as that. You said you had something, right? No, but hold on. I want to finish this first. Sign the deal. Sign the deal.
This is Matthew 4. Verse 9, and he saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou shalt fall down and worship me. Then Yahushua saith unto him,
right, so, alright then. So all you niggas talking about, oh, these conspiracy dudes talking about selling out is worshipping the devil, you're chatting shit. No, if you sell out and sign these deals, you are worshipping the devil. We got put on game 2,000 years ago. Satan never said, oh, just give me a high five, Yahushua. He said, worship me. So you get up in that world, it is all about worship. You got these top artists, these top artists now, their whole thing is, oh, I'm a musician, but I'm an Islam, I'm into Muslim, but I'm still a Christian. I still believe in God. They'll win Grammys and all this shit. I want to thank God. What God are you talking about? That's it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You know? You're talking about the God of this world, which is ultimately Satan, man. You know? Okay? That's what it is. God of this world, which is Satan, man. Oh. And you go on the pilgrimage, that camera, you go on the pilgrimage, oh yeah, sallallahu alayhi la hawa, and all that shit. And then you go on the Christianity shit, oh, I'm a musician and I just made it. No, you fucking sold out, man. You sold your soul, man. You know? Case in point, you had that guy that he just kicked out, D'Angelo.
Oh yeah.
D'Angelo just kicked out, yeah. They had him as a sex symbol, man.
Yeah, he liked it. Yeah.
You know, they had that nigga as a sex symbol. He's smoking cigarettes all the time, you know, doing all kind of drugs and shit. It's an escapism. Trying to escape the reality of like the pathway they pushed him down and the things he saw. Now everybody's crying, oh yeah. Now was he talented? Yeah, he was talented. He's very talented. But guess what? Most Jake is talented. There's a scripture to back that. Israel is as the salt of the earth, man. You see one talented nigga and you blow your mind. Bro, there's bare niggas that can sing. Bare niggas that can rap. There's bare people that can make beats and instrumentals and play music. There's brothers that are classically trained musicians. How about that? There's brothers that can sing. There's brothers that can cook. Michelin star level. Fuck you niggas talking about. Because there's one nigga that made it in the world. Oh, he's so great.
Precept.
Put certain brothers in the studio. I'll help your best artists out. How about that? Many brothers that can do that. Your favorite chef, you know, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
You put certain brothers in the kitchen, they'll outshine that dude in a heartbeat, man. You know. There's that. Remember that one that's like a famous meme now, yeah. Gordon Ramsay tried to make pad thai, and then he was in front of a pad thai specialist from Thailand, yeah. And he goes, right, taste it. And the guy's nostrils just went inflamed, and he gave him a dirty look. And then Gordon Ramsay goes, oh no, it's not good. And he goes, can I be honest? That's not pad thai at all. See, so because he's made it from France over here to England, you think he can cook every cuisine? Come on, man. That fucking pad thai dude wiped the floor with him and said, this is not pad thai at all.
Yep.
That's like trying to get Gordon Ramsay to cook you some yard food. Dasheen, green banana, yam, all of that thing there in the soup. You think he's gonna outdo your mum or your grandmother? No way.
If I can say, there was a couple of years back, there was a famous chef, I think, you know, one of those Michelin star rated chefs, I can't remember his name is. He had black hair and he tried to cook Jamaican rice and peas, and he butchered it, man. He was in all kind of match, and people were like, what the hell is this?
Is that the guy that put green peas?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, but he's a so-called, you know, up there trained chef, and he couldn't even make the basic West Indian food. So West Indian really Israelite.
He couldn't even do it. You see that? So let's go.
Right, if I may, this is Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Right, it never said a handful of geezers. Everyone's bursting their tears over D'Angelo. Yeah, the guy was great, but guess what? There's a lot of great niggas. You know what, yeah? There's a lot of talented people that don't make it in the world.
Yep.
So just because they never got recognized worldwide doesn't mean that they're not talentless. Israel's the former of all things. Remember, keep reading that. We don't got to go there. I'll just quote it, because you can do that, right? When the Lord, when certain things need to be done in Israel, didn't the scripture say in the law, Yahweh blessed him with the skill of like understanding
Yeah.
to work with brass,
Yes.
and this man got the blessing to understand carpentry.
Yeah.
So the Lord actually put a spirit out there where, out of nowhere, Jake just knew what to do with resources. I'll give you raw materials, and with the blessing of Yahweh, you can just do anything. But the Lord did that to the whole nation. We're a bag of talented individuals, man. straight up talent. But because one nigga bent over and and then he made that thing, or they tried to what did he say? They tried to get me to one of his albums called Voodoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where you stand on and coming in naked, right?
Yeah. Come on, man. You had Levites that when they sung, Yahweh came down, man. The ship came down, man. When you listen to that Haitian music, it's like, it's like they're like that's just a different vibration, man. It sounds alien, but it's like it's a different dimension you're tapping into, man. You know what I mean? So you can't just look at one guy and be like, well, that's it then. Oh, fuck it, we lost him. Nah, we're all talented, man. Read that again.
Jeremiah 51:19 again. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Even in the martial art world or sports world, you got a lot of people that they've gone pro on paper, but they didn't go pro like mainstream. You could go to your local boxing gym and have a world-class fighter, but because he never signed to a whatever, and he just didn't do enough fights, or he didn't go for the title to run up the ranks, then you see him come out the boxing gym, he's just a little guy trying it.
Right.
Nah, he could probably give your best famous boxer or MMA fighter a run for his money. So you gotta open your eyes, man. You see, the talent you see mainstream is the ones that Esau accepted.
Yeah.
But then you gotta think to yourself, well, what the fuck did they have to do to get accepted? Worship Satan. Again, you can't get to anywhere or like TV level, you mainstream famous, and because it's hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
No. Hard work and dedication is good, but that don't get you to in Esau's doors, man. For you to go through Esau's doors, he's got to go through your back door.
Yep.
It's your hard work, dedication, man. Night after night, your cheeks was getting separated. How about that? And then you go on TV and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity. I want to thank God for this, and I want to thank the team and this and that. And they always put in them glasses, them shades on.
Because they can't look anybody in the eye.
Because why, man? That's it, that bird is just floating. He's not even trying to move. He's just there.
That might be a peregrine falcon.
He's just there, like, that's how they be getting down.
Birds. Peregrine falcon.
They'll be gliding. To get recognition, innit?
You may have seen something that he's swiping down on. That's how they be hunting. Precept?
You're going already.
So First Chronicles 5 and 8 says, the sons of Reuben and the Gadites and the half of the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men able to bear buckler and sword.
Yeah,
and
because you got certain tribes that their specialities are in particular things. So the warriors of Israel are who? Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Those are the warrior tribes. Now that don't mean the other tribes aren't warriors. Of course they knew how to get down. But there were certain tribes that they specialized in particular things. Like, so when you came to warfare, the specialist tribes was Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh. Right? Case in point, the specialist tribe for the region of the heavens was Issachar. Now does that mean no other tribe knew how to calculate when the new moon was coming in? Of course not. The other tribes would have known that, but the specialist tribe chosen for that was Issachar. Right? Judah's the head, leadership. Yeah, but does it mean like no other tribe knows how to lead and orchestrate things? Come on, don't be silly, man. Of course the other tribes know how to get down, but the chosen tribe for leadership to be the head was Judah. So you got specialist tribes, man. Okay, Levi was a specialist tribe.
Yeah. In their fields.
In their fields, in their respective fields, man. Let's go.
To shoot with bow and skill in war, and 40,000, even 103 score that went out to the war. because you made a point of martial arts. You got, they call them unsung heroes. You know, they didn't have the what they call it, the image, or maybe they didn't. You know, for example, Floyd Mayweather, he's got the image to their liking, as you say, bend over, and the gift of the gab. You know, be able to. And a lot of these, even like one example is Terence Crawford, right? They had a smear campaign on him because he didn't want to be that, you know, that guy. That he didn't want to play the bad guy. You know, say the N-word and, you know, junk shucking and driving. So they tried to blot him out, smear campaign. But obviously he had to prove what he could do in the ring, and obviously that's where it matters. But as you say, there's a lot of unsung heroes or people that just, they don't like them, their face don't fit among Israel, or even in the they're in the truth. Actually, they're men of the Lord. But another thing is that weren't their lot. Their lot is to be what the Most High will ordain them to be, in front of the camera for another reason.
There you go.
Hence preaching. So yeah, as you say, that's a perfect precept. Jeremiah chapters 50, isn't it?
51.
51. That's a perfect precept, man. Where those people, man, coming back, and yeah, they will get their chance to shine in its proper place, with the backing of the Lord. And you know, even some of these people, Terence Crawford, he don't take L's in the ring yet, but he be taking a lot of L's outside the ring with the police and stuff like that. So that's where we want to be. We want to be on the Lord's side, not taking any L's, Lord willing. Yeah. Back to you. That's enough.
No, didn't you have it?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. This is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace.
Yes, so you see that part goes into being, who, like you said, who are you worthy? What, in whose eyes have you made it? Because Lord willing, we're the men of the Lord and we endure to the end. We've made it in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But to that, you see, you go to that world, man, to the rest of the other world looking in, it's like, what are they doing? You know, they're like Edomite. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Edomites exalt the voice here, and then like they start talking out of timing and that, like, who do you think you are? You know, right? And it's like, wait there, okay then. But in the eyes of the Lord, yeah, we are the jewels of His eye, the apple of His eye. Lord willing, we're those men. You know. So read that again. Hold on, I'll read that again.
Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men.
Yeah, because you be getting fucked up, man. Brothers be going through all kind of things, man. You know, and it's like, you could, alright, cool, we ain't gonna do it, yeah. Because first of all, we don't know, we're hoping. And second of all, you know what I mean, all of them things above. But it's like, you could actually walk outside, leave your house and just walk outside and be like, I'm one of the most important individuals ever to walk the earth. Now, if you went and said that to people on the road, they'd look at you like you're delusional.
Yep.
But in reality, you are, if you're a man of the Lord. So in the eye, because it's like, well, how are you important? Your health's messed up, you know, things aren't going great there. You're not rich, you know, this is going on and that. So how are you? They talk through the nose. How are you? The most important, one of the most important individuals. Yeah, how?
Precept.
How does that make sense? Yeah. So in the sight of men, you know, go on, read that.
Yet is their hope full of immortality.
Right. So the people you look down upon, their hope is immortality, meaning to be changed. Our fleshly, mortal bodies, you know, the scriptures say that we shall put off the how does it go? The mortal clothing. The mortal clothing, man. You know, and we're gonna put off the corruption and put on you know, and that's gonna happen when brothers get beamed up. That's why we was talking about the chariots earlier, man. You know, them chariots coming back, that's a major turning point, man. You know, it's necessary. Okay? So we're gonna get changed out here. Is there more than that?
Yep.
Go on.
It says, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded.
Yeah, we think we're going through some big time hell, which in the flesh we are. But compared to the glory which is to come, all the hell we've gone through, not only in this lifetime but all of our previous lives, is compared, likened unto a little chastisement.
Light future.
So that shows you, as far as our mind can imagine, which is no justice at all to the reality which is yet to behold us. You can imagine how great the kingdom's gonna be. Because we've gone through a lot, and brothers are still going through a lot. But at the end of the day, compared to the glory to come, is likened unto having been a little chastised, man. That's deep, man. You got to account transatlantic slavery into that. Butt breaking. Working from sun up to sundown. Your children getting taken away from you. That term motherfucker, you know where that comes from.
Yeah.
Having to do that, and all kind of shit, man. And then in the grand scheme of things, the Lord is like, yeah, that's a light affliction. You got to fear the Most High. Let's go.
For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself.
Yeah, prove means put to the test. All right. The word prove means to put to the test. So, we're tried, man. We're tried. That's just what it is. All of this whole existence is us being molded into the individuals, right? That Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai wants us to be. And then the last piece of the puzzle is being changed. But our characters in that are getting worked on now. This is really, when you say molded, it's nothing to do with the flesh, It's everything to do with the spirit. Okay? It's everything to do with the spirit, man. Because these bodies, we ain't taking them nowhere. You ain't gonna take this body into a chariot. This is gonna get dissolved off, and the Lord is coming back, and we're gonna be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So the changing that's taking place now is what? Is a spiritual thing, man. Okay, let's go.
It says, as gold in the furnace have you tried them and received them as a burnt offering, and in their time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble.
That's that spiritual power. You're gonna be running, you ain't getting tired and that, man. You run up the stairs right now, you out of breath. All kind of things going on. Certain things start happening, and you start thinking, man, like, is the Most High about to kill me, man? You can't sleep. You're rolling around in the bed. You get out of the bed, you feel like death. All kind of things happening, man. You start thinking like, what's up, man? Is this how it ends, Lord? Is this how it ends for me? But then our change, we're gonna be able to run like the sparks in the stubble, man. And you ain't gonna get out of breath. You do all of that spiritual power stuff, and then now you're panting. Nah. We ain't gonna be doing that, man. We're about to be changed. No more pain. How about that? No more pain. No more sadness. No more pain. No more anxiety. No more worrying. None of that, man. Read.
I'm done with that precept.
You done, yeah?
Hebrews 4 and 15 says, for we have not...
Hold on, because brothers I was waiting for.
Oh, yes, he was.
So look, pertaining to the Jacob soul. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 and verse 30, verse 29. So doth the potter, sitting at his work and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work and maketh all his work by number. He fashioneth the clay with his arms and boweth down his strength for his feet. He applieth himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. It says that all these trust to their hands, and
right, so the potter is the Lord. Let's just break that down, bro. You know what I mean? It's a lot there. The potter is Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, and then the clay is us, man. Right? So, you get fashioned. Now, as I always say, if you got like a plant pot, you can't mold that. That's tough. That's hard. That's a solid. All you can do is pick it up and drop it on the floor and break it. And it's broken now. It's no good. You have to be melted so it can be refashioned as to how the Lord wants it to be. Well, that's us. The you and the me, the you and me version from the world is a tough old pot. And Yahweh says, I can't do nothing with that. So guess what? I'm going to apply that heat and melt it down back to clay. Back to being liquid, malleable. And how do you do that? By applying heat. This is why we suffer. We suffer because the Lord is molding is melting our characters down and then building it and fashioning it up how He wants us to be. Ultimately, so He can see His reflection in our character. That's it, man. So that's why we catch hell, man. You know? Now, albeit the process isn't nice, but the process is necessary, man. Right? Is there more than that?
Just one point. It says, all these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work.
That's it, man. You got. Oh, you got, sorry. Still up here.
Yeah, just in line with what you just said, Captain. This is Hebrews chapters 4 and 15 says, for we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points.
Read that again. Read that again.
Once again, Hebrews 4 and 15. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin.
That's exactly what I was quoting. Earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I quoted.
I have had it on board as well.
Oh, you had that as well. That's the spirit. It's the spirit. We quoted it, and then two brothers had it on deck. Look at that. Yeah. So the Lord knows what we go through, man. Again, we was reading it in the 4th chapter. How Satan tried to offer him the deals, man. You know? So the Lord knows about that. And you gotta remember, He lived other lifetimes. So He knows, because you could say, well, there's certain things Yahushua didn't deal with, so He wouldn't understand. Well, no, how the hell do you think the book of Ecclesiastes came around? You know? And that, man. He dealt with women. You know? And Yahushua, when He came on the scene as the Messiah, as Yahushua, He knew He was all of these people. So that last go round on planet Earth for Him was really His perfecting. That's why He said, behold, I have the keys of hell and of death. You know? He accomplished it, man. You see that phrase of the Lord, one of His dying sentences, it is finished. That goes a lot deeper than a lot of people really fathom. Yeah, it's talking about the cross and the punishment of sin, but that statement really goes back to Adam. Imagine having to live multiple lifetimes and go through multiple things and then end up on a cross for 3 hours. And at that point, from the beginning of creation, where the breath was given to man, that man being Adam, which He imparted onto his people, the Adamites, which then went on to be the sons of God, later known as the Israelites. From that point to now, it was all perfected. So Yahushua knows how it feels, man. That's that high priest. Read it again, brother.
Yep. Hebrews 4 and 15. For we have not an high priest.
You know when someone's trying to give you advice here, and you know, but you ain't even gone through that. So how you giving me advice? You get angry at that guy. Because you're talking shit. You ain't experienced what I'm going through. But it's not so with the Lord. Everything we vent to Him in prayer, He gets it. The angels don't get it. Because the angels don't go through the earthly experience. It's actually, we ain't going to get it, but it's actually in the scriptures that the angels look down and marvel at us. They don't know what temptation feels like. You know, they don't know the earthly experience that we gotta go through. So the angels in heaven really look down at us. You know, we look, oh wow, I want to be like them. They can transport, they can do this, they can do. The angels be looking down at us like, wow,
That brother's strong.
that's heavy, man. You got angels in the heavens looking at brothers like, whoa, man, he's a strong brother, man. Whoa. But the point is that I'm making, they don't understand the fleshly experience, but Yahweh Shai does. That's why it says he was made a little lower than the angels, meaning he came into the fleshly experience and lived it. So everything we can say to Yahweh Shai, Lord, help me, we're not talking to someone that don't get it. We're talking to someone that very much understands, because in multiple lifetimes he lived it. Read it again, bro.
Yeah. Hebrews 4:15 again. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin.
Yeah. So Yahweh Shai, you know how heavy that is, man. In his whole life here, was he 33 years on the earth? In 33 years, he didn't go off. That's crazy. I say that's crazy, but I'm saying it in a good way. Like
To us, it's crazy.
that's crazy,
In the
man. But
flesh.
that's like, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal run. 33 years and not one time did he go off. And he was in the flesh. But that means what? Because he was in the flesh, but he was connected to the Father. That shows you his relationship with the Most High was strong, man. When you talk about the levels of mastery, to not make a mistake, man. 33 years and he was like, nah, he didn't do anything wrong. Which also stands testament that Yahweh Shai was a perfect sacrifice. Because remember, the Passover lamb, the priest had to check if there was a blemish. And if there was a blemish on that lamb, you couldn't offer that lamb as the Passover lamb. So Yahweh Shai is our Passover. He is the sacrifice, you know, as John said, behold the Lamb of the Most High, who taketh away the sins of the world, the cosmos. What world are you in? The world of Israel, right? So that means Yahweh Shai had to be without spot and blemish, right? You know. Remember, even the Most High, man. There's certain physical things you can't even be in the congregation. We ain't got. Remember, it's in the law. He that has a flat nose, wounded in the stones, you can't stand in the congregation before Yahweh. So even certain physical things. Now we're under grace now. So let's say a brother, you know, he used to be, I don't know, he got into some mad fight and his balls got crushed, you know, or he's got some deformity, flat nose or whatever. You know, could he be a man of the Lord? Yeah, because we're under grace right now. We've all got things fucked up with us. You know, really and truly, you're not allowed to sweat when you're doing the office of a priest. That's why they had to wear linen, because when you went in, the Lord don't like sweat, so you can't even sweat. So let's say it's summertime and you sweating at camp. Technically, you should get a laser beam. You know, there you go. So that shows you we're under grace. But the point is, Yahweh Shai, for us to get that grace, he had to go through it. So he had to be the lamb without blemish, man. So again, he understands. Let's go. Let's keep an eye on the gate. You finished that?
16 now. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in times of need. That's an admonition for us, man. Come with confidence. That's what you're saying there. Come with confidence, because I've done it for you, man. As you say, I paved the way for you. Approach in confidence. Yeah, you're going through some shit, as you say, Captain. Yeah. We be going through some shit, all of us, you know. We all got testimony. But come, put it before him, you know. You know what I mean? Don't even hesitate, man. I've been there, done that. If anyone can say I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, it's Yahweh Shai.
That's it. That's it. You got, bro?
Yeah, this is Matthew 11, let's start from verse 28. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Yeah, go into it.
It says, reading again, this is Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all ye that labor. And that's talking about us, of whom are servants of Yahushua, laboring in this work. And of course, as we make these videos, as we come out to camp, that's part of the labor. And it says, and are heavy laden. Again, example of that, there's different afflictions that we go through, some more physical, some more mental. It says here, and I will give you rest. So of course, through Yahushua, that's why when we pray daily, you know, we're actually trying to get that peace, that rest from Yahushua. And that's why he says, take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, which also goes into Captain's point, because the fact that he's also gone through those afflictions, he's lived in the flesh. So of course, the same way a good leader, that's an example of a good leader. If he's already gone through the experience, he's able to guide those of whom are also going through the experience below him as well.
Yeah. You decide one day, yeah, you know, you got enough money, I want to learn to fly a plane. You do ground school, you pass ground school, now you can get in a little one-engine plane. And then you meet the instructor. So how many years you been flying, instructor? Oh, I don't know anything about planes. Well, you're gonna get in the plane with him.
No.
You gonna end your life.
Yeah.
You may figure out how to take off. But you don't know how to control that shit.
No.
You're gonna kill yourself. Again, as we were saying, you don't trust someone that ain't got experience. Why would I listen to you? You know, you got them. I call them Sky TV boxers. You know, they just sit down and watch the Sky. They watch all the boxing, and they've never been in a boxing gym themselves. You a couch boxer, man. Oh yeah, nah, he should have thrown a jab like that. He should have did this. Yeah. How the fuck do you know? You've never trained in your life. Now that's not to say you can't become, you can't learn the sport via TV. You can know good and bad tactics, but that limits you. You can't talk like an expert if you've never been in the boxing gym yourself. If you've never been in the ring yourself. You don't even know how to put gloves on and a mouth guard in, but you've got all the talk for why he lost the fight. You can't do that. First of all, the elder apostles taught us the tool of etymology. You get into the word experience. It means what? To try out. So everything we've gone through, quite literally, Yahushua has already tried it out. You want to talk about women? He's already tried it out. He's the first to deal with Eve. I'm talking about Eve. Eve herself. That was the wife of Adam. You know? Oh no, but no, wow. Yahushua's been there, man. Alright? So you ain't got nothing to tell the Lord. We ain't got nothing to tell the Lord. I ain't got nothing to tell the Lord, man. We gonna tell Yahushua, nah, Lord, you see, because my thing's a bit complicated, yeah? You know what I mean? That's pride, man. I ain't gonna tell Yahushua, oh, your thing's a bit complicated. Nah, man, he's been there, done it. Multiple times. Right? And he's made the mistakes with it. That's a good thing. You don't know mistake. No, mistakes to a degree is good. Because now you see the flip side of why you need to do it this way. He made the mistake with women. He's made, if anyone knows about making mistakes with women, trust Yahushua. Because he was Adam. He made the mistake with Eve. Then didn't he give the excuse? Oh Lord, it was the woman you gave me. That's in the scriptures, man. Right? Solomon with the women. When in his old age, he started building temples to their gods. You know? So the point we're making is Yahushua ain't no rookie, man. He knows what the hell's going on, man. He knows what's up, man. And this is why he has mercy towards us, as you were saying. He has mercy to because he understands, yeah, man, Father, like when I was Adam, I fell at that hurdle too. Like, give him some grace. Because I went to the cross in another life, so give him some grace. That's heavy, man. Here it is, you falling at all the hurdles that's presented before you, and then you want to be a tyrant to the guy that falls after you. No, the Lord ain't a tyrannical power. That's why he's merciful, because he's been there himself. Go on, Ahab.
To back you up on Captain, and to back up the other scriptures too. John 16:33. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world.
Yeah, there you go. Yahweh Shai has overcome the world, man. And that's a powerful statement, man. You know? He's overcome, he's achieved it. He's done it all. He's overcome the world, man. You know? Someone get that precept where it says, I go to my Father and your Father, my God and your God. Like, what more do you want, man? Yahweh Shai came and he conquered this shit, and then now he's at when I say shit, I'm talking about the flesh, you know, and death and all that. He overcame all of that, and now he's at the right hand of the Father, man. And he's intercessing for us. So really and truly, we're cool, man. We're cool. And we ain't saying that through like pride or, you know, false confidence or whatever. Nah, man. Hey, look, bro. You gotta know what's up, man. We're all right, bro. As long as we stay connected to the source and the humility and all of that stuff, of course, we're all right, man. We ain't dealing with no Mickey Mouse God, no bullshit. Oh yeah, maybe not. No, he's conquered that, man. Let's go.
This is the book of John 20 and verse 17. Yahweh Shai saith unto her, touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father.
Now, in the spirit, we don't know the exact reason, but there's only certain people could touch Yahweh Shai when he rose from the grave. Because remember, Thomas touched him. How about that? You know, Thomas touched him. He was with the disciples for 40 days and 40 nights after he rose from the grave. And then let's see if we can find that one. It says he was seen of at least 500 when he rose. How about that? That's a month and about 10 days. And when you realize these Christians, they never get into this stuff. Why don't Christians ever get in? Well, you know, on Sunday, you know, he just went up into a cloud. Like, no, man. No. Yahweh Shai was on the earth for another 40 days, and he was seen of at least 500 of the brethren, man, after he rose from the grave. So you're trying to tell me, yeah, in 40 days, you don't touch nobody? What are you talking about? When the scriptures done told us that Thomas put his hand in the Lord's scars in his hand and in his side. So we don't know the exact spiritual meaning behind it, but there were only certain people that could touch Yahweh Shai after he rose from the grave. And Mary wasn't one of them. That's why he said, don't touch me. Let's read.
Let me finish this off. John 20 and 17 says, Yahweh Shai saith unto her, touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren, and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my power and your power.
There you go, man. So that's where he's at. That's where Yahweh Shai's at, man. He's with the Father. He's with the Most High, Yahweh. He's back with the Father after conquering the world. We ain't got to worry about nothing, man. All we got to worry about is doing the right thing and staying on doing the right thing. Because once we're on the side of Yahweh Shai, we're under the side of success. All right, and the way of success is found in the volume of the book. Didn't he say that? The volume of the book, for it is written of me. Now, read what you got, but hold Joshua chapter 1 verse 8. Talk about success.
So this is 1 Corinthians 15:3. It says, "For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Hamashiach Yahushua died for our sins according to the scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures, and that
Which is at the end of the third day, the beginning of the fourth. Go on.
and that he was seen of Cephas, then of the 12. After that he was seen above 500 brethren,
Yep.
at once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present, but some are fallen asleep."
So that shows you that if you ain't of the elect, there's no miracle that will just work. Remember, they saw the Lord die. They knew he was dead. Then, after 3 days in the grave, he arose. Then he was on the scene for another 40 days. And on this occasion, he was seen of 500 of the brethren. And it says the greater part remained. Meaning, you had probably, let's not get into figures, but the greater part of 500 were still there. But a couple of people fell off. Imagine you know a man was dead and he's raised from the grave. Yeah, and nah. I just don't believe in that. The Lord don't like you, man. That's why the scripture says, "Blessed are they who have not seen, yet do believe." Because you had niggas that were seeing and still didn't believe. They saw the Lord. Read it again. He was seen of the greater part, 500, man.
Yep, 1 Corinthians 15:6. After that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once.
Above.
Yeah, it says
Above. Woo. So at minimum 501. Minimum. At minimum, the Lord was seen of 501 people, minimum. After he rose from the grave of the assembly of the believers, man. Go on.
God says, "At once, of whom the greater part remain unto this present."
So most of them still believed, and some of them fell off. Go on.
God, but some are fallen asleep.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected. Falling asleep meaning they passed on. Go on.
Yeah, this is 1 Corinthians 15:6 in the NLT. It says, "After that,"
But to back the point, you still didn't have people that knew Yahushua and fell off. They rejected or they fell off. But this is talking about brethren that actually fell asleep and passed away. Go on.
1 Corinthians 15:6 in the NLT. "After that he was seen by more than 500 of his followers at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have died."
There you go. Go on. Is that it?
Yeah.
Alright, what's the other one I'm called for?
Joshua 1 and 8. How about that? This is Joshua 1 and 8. It says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then shalt thou make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success."
Yeah, so you talk about success stories. We're gonna be successful, man. You know? We're gonna be successful. Why? Because Lord willing, we follow the book through to the end. You know, finish our course. Read that again.
On.
Joshua.
Joshua 1 and 8. "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night,
No, hurry up. You keep reading.
that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success." You know, even in the Apocrypha, it tells you that if you desire a kingdom, and you desire rulership, then honor wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom is the principal thing, man. Alright? The only reason why people pave their own path and go their own way is because they lack the patience that's required, man. Here it is. That's why, again, we spoke about in Wisdom of Solomon 3. "For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet their hope is full of immortality," man. Because what we're fighting for, what we're laboring for, is what's going to be set for eternity, man. Alright? There ain't going to be no, oh yeah, you know, because the way Jake has it now, someone can come steal your shit, come mess up your shit. You know, Esau can come mess you up, man. But hey, man, we're laboring for something that's eternal, man. Alright? We're promised good success if we follow this book of the law. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Set.
That's what we're doing, man. We're setting our affection on the things above, man.
Give us that 5 and then we'll
Okay.
Right, so this is for Colossians 3 and verse 2. It says, set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Hamashiach Yahushai in the Most High.
Go on.
It says, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience.
Yeah, go on, break that down.
Let me read it again to get my thoughts. So it says Colossians 3 and then verse 2, it says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So of course we know that of Yahushua specifically, he's prepared the place for us. As we know within John chapter 15. So that's the rewards of the Spirit, of course, are ahead of us, and that's going to be far more than the fleshly reward of this time, as you can liken it as onto the 2/3 Jakes over there in America that sell out just to get some fame and some glory and of course some riches. But we know that our riches, moth and dust, does not corrupt. So it says, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High. So of course through Yahushua, we're going to be hidden from all these evils too. It says, when Hamashiach Yahushua, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. And the key part where it says, when Hamashiach Yahushua, who is our life, because the fact that he's intervening for us, with Yahweh, the thing is, just by that, we get by day. Because if Yahushua didn't have any favor upon us, and we didn't have that intervention, we could have been already in the spirit realm by now. Now it says, shall appear, and then ye shall also appear with him in glory. Of course, Revelation 21, when it refers to no more death, no more pain, when the Jerusalem comes down, that's the elect coming down from the heavens, man. So we're going to come down, and of course, Yahushua is also going to be with us, and join forever. And it says, in verse 5, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, cleanliness, inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Then read that in the NLT as well, Colossians 3 and 5. So put to death the sinful earthly things lurking within you, having nothing to do with sexual immorality. By the way, sexual immorality is done a lot on the left-hand side, man. So obviously that's on the right-hand side. The opposite of that, would be to abstain from all of that shit.
Did Yahushua describe this generation as that wicked and adulterous generation?
It says, sexual immorality, impurity, lust, and evil desires. Don't be greedy, for a greedy person is an idolater, worshipping the things of the world. So of course these are
hold it there. Let's get the cameras and go.
Yeah.
But keep breaking it down as we talk as we go.
Alright.
Yeah.
So this is so let me hold this as I'm talking. Can you hold two of them actually?
I can hold them both. That in there for more.
Right, so this is let's go. Yeah, so Colossians 5 and then verse 5, it says, so put to death, in the NLT, so put to death the sinful earthly things lurking within you, having nothing to do with sexual immorality, impurity, lust, and evil desires. Don't be greedy, for a greedy person is an idolater, worshipping the things of the world. And of course, when you've got those strong desires, it will then cause an individual to do things of which ought not to be done. Again, as I mentioned the point before, hence why ninjas in the world sell out, especially over there in America. There's this movie called Him. It's a good representation of how ninjas of the world sell out or go far to worship Satan in order to gain those riches, to get that fame and glory. Now it says in verse 6, for which, so KJV, Colossians 3 and 6, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. And the NLC says, because of these sins, the anger of the Most High is coming. And it's true. You know, this pertains to mainly Jake because they were given the laws, you know, as it mentions within Deuteronomy 28 about the blessings and the curses. It says here, let me get back to the point, Colossians 3 and 6, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience as well. And the thing is, the vessels that are made unto wrath are really referring to the heathens, the Edomites, man. You know, but of course Jake as well, they're liking themselves as heathens too, because they're forsaken Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. When you try to preach unto them, you know, it goes over their head. So it says here in verse 7, in the which ye also walked some time when ye lived in them, but now ye also put off all these anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. It says, lie not to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So of course, that's talking about the former person, the former man, which is obviously the man of the world, you know, our former selves. And of course, this old man, which we were once were in the world, you know, obviously praying from all the influences and the evil, you know, and all the bullshit that you were doing, you know, all of that, you know, also then going to chop up all the impurities, the purify and the affliction that you got to go through. That's why it says here in verse 8, Colossians 3, but now ye also put off all these anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not to one another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So again, that old spirit, you know, that worldly spirit of the flesh, putting it away, impurities, purged. Verse 10, it says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. So of course, that's then going into, of course, after being purged of the old spirit, the old man, again, the flesh, the former ways, and then you've adopted the new ways. As we read the scriptures, you're adopting that way of reasoning. That's how it then become the new man, because we pray more and more to acquire the wisdom of the scriptures, to understand the scriptures, for Farkudash, the Holy Spirit to be placed upon us and to stay upon us as well. That's how that new man is then enhanced, because the Most High is then molding us into clay, into that new spirit that's more favoured unto him. God. So that's really the point there. Yeah. So yeah, man, the point is, from the old man pertaining to the flesh, they get transformed to the new man, which is the Most High favours. How much should y'all shout him? Because he's the one who carved us out into that, which is a very hard and rigorous process as well. Proverbs 25. It's Proverbs 25 and verse 28, it says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. And that's pertaining to Matthew 4. You know, when we were talking about Yahushua, he was tempted of Satan. King Yahushua is really the pinnacle of the example of having self-control, having that temperance, as we read in Galatians 5 earlier on as well. So the spirit, part of his temperance, which is self-restraint. Of course, in order to get that, we've got to pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yeah, because Yahushai knew that. That's a good point, because Yahushai knew that if he overcame, which he was always going to anyway, the Father would give him kingdom, right? Give that brother, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord. So Yahushai knew that's that restraint they're talking about, because Satan's saying, well, fuck that, I'll give it to you now. No cross, no pain, just bow down to me, you get it all now. That's that restraint. You know? So we gotta be able to play the long game. You know? It's true. It's not about instant gratification. It's about being able to play the long game. You know? Revelation. I'm gonna take the chair out in case someone wants to sit.
verse 15. And the seventh angel sounded, and there was great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever.
Yeah. So there you go. The kingdoms were, you know what I'm thinking? You might go to that green bird. That little triangle there. Yeah. You know, right by the car. Might do that. That was my No, we'll do it. I'll show you what we'll do. It won't even be there. Right there next to the car. Why not? Hey, read what you got. I'm thinking.
Right, this is Revelation 11 and 15 again. It says, and the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world have become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Hamashiach, and he shall reign forever and ever. Yeah, so basically, all the kingdoms of this world are Yahushai's anyway. If you read the book of Joel 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and that nothing was made without the Word. So Yahushai had a part in everything that was created, following the mandate of Yahweh.
Yeah. You can talk on it as we read.
Yeah, so Yahushai was already set to inherit everything, so he didn't need to take Satan as a low-level deal. You know, Yahushua knew that he had something far greater awaiting him if he could just endure to the end. And we have to follow Yahushua's example, because we also be tempted in our lives, in this lifetime, where if we endure to the end, we're going to inherit all the things that are promised to us in the scriptures, because the Most High is not a man that he should lie. You know, so there's no need for us to sell out. It's just Jake that are impatient who sell out and they take the low-level deal, because they can't discipline themselves enough to wait for what is promised to us by the Heavenly Father, which is kind of a similar spirit to what Esau had. If you remember, when Esau was hungry, he sold his birthright to his brother Jacob because he was hungry. He couldn't wait for the food to be prepared properly. He had to have it in that instant, in that moment. What is it? That's a lustful spirit. You know, that's what Esau's got. And unfortunately, because Jacob is so deprived of this world, they'll see any opportunity to get up out of their social and economic circumstances. They'll jump at it with both hands. That's why Esau knows that it isn't hard to deceive Jake and get them to take a dodgy deal, because all they want to do is get out of the curses. But unfortunately, the deals that Esau offers is no way out of the curses. You know, you can become a rich Jake in this world financially, but you're still going to be miserable. That's why, as the captain said earlier, a lot of these Jakes wear shades. You know, they're so defiled in their deeds. Even if they've got all the money and all the women, they still feel unhappy inside, because they know that they've had to give up part of their integrity to gain those things on this side.
Just to back up the point, because you mentioned how Jake sell out and ultimately they're still miserable. This is Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So this is the thing, man. Jake can't escape the hell. You know, it doesn't. Look, man. If you sell out, you got a record deal, you get that £1 million or that $1 million advance. Look, you just a rich ass slave, man. We still in captivity. You can't decide to not pay that mortgage payment, pay the rent on that house, and think you gonna walk around scot free, man. They at least don't even need driving license. You need a driving license. So Jake ultimately, no matter how far they go in this world, as long as we have Esau, we're still in captivity, man. We gotta wait for as you've said to me, that the scriptures must be fulfilled, man. Yeah. It says in the scriptures how all the curses that are on us are going to be flipped onto those other nations, man. You know?
There's no climbing out the curses. There's no climbing out the curses, because essentially, wherever Jacob is scattered, they're feeling this oppression and this affliction, but there's no climbing out of it. The only way out of it is through the Yahweh Shai. Because what does it say? 28 and 68, Brother Bashar, and no man shall buy you.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68, and it reads, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you."
Right, that word there for buy means to redeem, meaning that nobody's going to redeem us out of the situation that we're in. And what does the scripture also say of Yahweh Shai? Did you get me, Brother Bashar? It says, "I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man."
Yep.
Rawada.
Isaiah 57, I'll start at the top, verse 3. "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers."
Right, all that making bare the leg, exposing the thigh, that's talking about Esau's sister being basically exposed for what it is. You know, this isn't like life was in the 1940s and 50s, where Esau was doing all kind of clandestine shit, getting away with it because nobody knew what was going on because it wasn't fitting with the mainstream media. Now we're living in, 2025? Yeah, we're in 2025, and it's a whole different ballgame because now there's more outlets that are exposing Esau's corruption. You know, once upon a time, Esau owned all the media. You owned all the TV stations, you owned all the newspapers, you owned all the radio stations. He controlled the whole narrative. But through the advent of the internet, what you've had is an uprising of, what you could say, alternative news sources and social commentators who have been basically exposing all the antics of this devil and what he's been getting up to. You've got pages like Wikipedia, where people can upload all kind of information, all kind of shit, where Esau doesn't have the filter systems where he could suppress certain information before. Now it's all coming out. So that whole exposition of Esau's system is all a part of his downfall, because his downfall is a systematic process that the Most High is doing. It's not like, okay, one day Esau's in rulership and the next day he's out of power. No, the Most High is having it being revealed over time so that his shame is being exposed. Abba Kashak, if someone get the excuse of it, says, "Shameful spirit shall be upon that glory."
Would you say something? I'm going to add something. There was once upon a time we were talking about medias. You had 3 channels, then it was channel 4, then you had channel 5, going back to like the 80s. And then now, right, an explosion. That's Daniel chapters 12 before.
Yes.
An explosion now. Now we've got the media, social media. That word, me, you, YouTube, iPhone. So now people are expressing their me, got an opinion now. I got an opinion now. That's a good point. So it's really, as you say, their narrative now is gone more to the side. They still have a certain amount of power, but now everybody else has got an opinion.
Yep. This is the thing, because that's why Esau's having to create so many, like, if you notice, since the internet came about, TV channels have just exploded. Now you've got hundreds of channels to choose from. That's all part of Esau trying to pull out confusion. Because when he had just 5 channels, this is 4 or 5 channels in the UK, it was very limited the amount of information that's going out there. When the internet came out, everybody was uploading shit, right? Not just on YouTube, but they're making web pages, blogs, so on and so forth. That's why Esau's push even more TV channels now, and he's basically pushing more content out there to try and suppress the truth. You know, what was you doing a second ago?
I'm not easy as a man.
Yeah, finish that.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 47 and 3. "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man."
Right, so that shows us that the only way out of these curses is through the Shai and his sacrifice that he made for us. There's no other way out of it. But there's no other way out of it. But carnal-minded Jake can't see that solution as being viable. To them, it's like, what? So you're telling me we're supposed to wait on some guy to come back from in the clouds? Nah, man, that's long, fam. It's long, man. I might not be here next week, innit? Because Jake's very short, right? They're short term.
Just want to quickly add to a point, brother.
Move the car here when he go car.
There was a certain Jake that I used to work with, that I was trying to bring in the truth, and he knew what I was about. Then it's like, oh yeah, but you're on this afterlife thing. I'm on the now to you're on this afterlife thing. Yeah. Lack of patience, man.
There's that song, what were the lyrics? I want it all, I want it now. But yeah, you've got to be patient with this thing, man. What does the scripture say? Give your patience possessing your souls.
But by the way, patience goes into suffering. So your patience possessing your soul in suffering. You know, brothers gotta, learn to suffer. This ministry is a ministry of like you're serving the Lord. You're gonna go through more trying times than easy going times. Or crying times. Trying times or trying and crying times. Than happy go lucky times. You're into the happy go lucky spirit. Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! This ain't for you, man. It's not gonna go well. But that's why they get in church, man. And that's why you got videos coming out. People are exposing church for what it is. Church is just a concert.
Yeah.
Some nice music, some this, some that, a boom, and that's it. You ain't learning nothing in there. If your pastor went and told you, you're gonna get fucked up. If church guys spoke like that, yeah?
Fuck you up.
Yeah? You gotta use their term. You can't say Yahushua. You gotta say it like how they would say it. The Lord Jesus Christ is gonna fuck you up, yeah?
Ain't nobody going back there.
Ain't nobody going there next week, man.
Them Christian hats, man.
Yeah.
Lord of mercy.
Lord of mercy, what did pastor say? What did pastor say? Oh God, no. Jesus Christ, yeah, is gonna make your life terrible for his sake. They ain't fucking dealing with that, man.
Who's that?
I don't even know how we got on that level. What was he saying, man?
Do you know what? I even forgot.
I remember.
Some patience.
The afterlife thing.
The afterlife thing. Yeah, if I can bring out a precept before I make just to get on that, I want to touch on that. 2nd Ezra 6:9 says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." So, to cut that line, we are the afterlife people. If you want to put it like that, the end of the world. So there used to be a documentary it was one of my favourite documentaries, kind of movie stroke documentary, and there was people called the Tomorrow people, which means they understood everything, the technology, everything. They had it. They was ahead of their time. So we are those people, man. Here, we're living in this time, but we're the future.
Yeah?
We are the future. Right?
Yeah, we are. That's a good point, because essentially our bodies are here right now in this physical time. We're here, but spiritually, our minds are in the kingdom, because that's where all our thoughts and that's what our hearts are set on. We're not settled here and now. The things that are in this moment, temporal, and carnal. Yes, we use this world, but we don't use this world. Our heart is in the kingdom, where we'll be able to actually enjoy the earth. We'll be able to enjoy our lives and enjoy our riches, because that's where we'll finally begin to live. Because right now, the scriptures say, right now our lives are hid. We're not really living, we're just existing at this moment, and we're playing at the last few remaining days of these curses before we transition into our blessings. And those blessings are going to be eternal, never ending, man. We're never going to know what it's like to hear the alarm clock again. Actually, we'll hear the alarm clock, but it won't be for us. It'll be for Esau. We're going to sleep sweetly. There's not going to be the grave to be thinking, oh shit, man, we have to get up at the crack of dawn to work. Nah, man. We'll be able to enjoy everything, and life is going to be for living, basically. Life is going to be for living. Right now, life isn't for living. It's just basically a death cycle that's just, going on and on and on. And that's because Esau's in rulership. And he can only bring forth destruction and death because he wasn't meant to be upright and in tune with how life should work. He's the adversary. He goes against it. Everything that the Most High set up, Esau does contrary.
Esau's not in tune, man. He'll tell you that the day, the new day begins at when the clock strikes 12. That's not fucking in tune. You know what I mean? He'll tell you that it's a new year in the dead of winter. That's not in tune. Don't the scriptures say that? He changes the times.
Oh, yeah. But I say this, Brother Bishop. We're in the month of October right now, right? So, I think I've said this before, but let me break it down again. If you look at octagon, how many sides is that got? Got 8. So when you take that word oct, it means 8. Like octopus, octagon, 8. So if we was to take this month as being month number 8, what happens in the 9th month in Spanish? 9
Is that it? You tell him to park it here, man. You going up there?
Right. In the 9th month, in the Spanish it's called Nueve, 9, November. And if you look at des, that means 10. So if you was to count these months 8, 9 and 10, then you have 11 and 12 to follow. So if you could count January as 11 and February is 12, that will take you into it more in line with when the New Year's really supposed to occur, which is in the time of the spring. But Esau's done fucked everything up to where people think the New Year occurs on December 31st.
Yeah, that scripture are good, though, because that's really on the point. You gotta read the scriptures where it says change of times. Good point, it's one.
So Daniel 2. It's Daniel 2 and 21, and he changeth times and the seasons, and he moveth kings.
Now you got calendars. You got what we on there now, the Gregorian.
Yep.
Remember there was the Julian.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then you had the fucking Egyptian calendar as well. Right? Which had something stupid like 13 days to a week. Some bullshit like that. 3 weeks consisting of 10 days. 10-day week or something. That's madness, man. And when you check Esau that's looking into that whole Egyptian shit. You know who's got a deep, you got them black niggas that's into Egypt, Egyptologists, Kemet dudes. But you know who's deeper into Egypt than Kemet dudes? Esau.
Yeah.
Esau loves Egypt, man. He bases his whole sciences and belief system and shit off of that, man. So read that again, you change it for what, the times? Read it again, bro.
32 and 21 says, and he changeth times and the seasons.
Yeah, the seasons, man. How the hell is nothing budding, nothing's growing, but all of a sudden, yeah, this is the new year. You know what I mean? Have you counting down to 10, from 10,
9,
all that bullshit, man. You have your ass counting down, and it's the dead of winter, man. Nothing's growing, nothing's budding. You standing out there in the freezing cold. It's the spring. You got fireworks going on there. You go down to Ali Pali. Yeah. You know what I mean? If your parents ever took you to Ali Pali, that's crazy. So how the hell is he going in there to walk the dog at this time? But they shot us in. The
Satan,
same
bro.
time last week.
Satan.
That's crazy. Go on.
I've got a precept here.
No, I want to finish that first.
So Daniel 2 and 21, and he changeth the times and the seasons, he removeth kings and setteth up kings, he giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. Says he revealeth the deep and the secret things, and knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him.
Yeah.
I've got another one so that could pertain to Esau.
You go, then you get what already else.
Isaiah 24 and 5, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance.
Right, you got to slow that down. The earth is defiled, man. Why is the earth defiled? Because simple things like agriculture. Let's get the land Sabbath law. Let's go into that. Right? You know, you've got land masses. The Lord actually gave in like each nation their own land. Esau goes around the whole world. Well, don't the scripture say that? Someone get that. Who keepeth not at home? What's that all about, man? People are meant to have their own lands, bro. Esau came in and said, nah. And he wants continental breakfast in Africa. Make that make sense. You want beans on toast in Tanzania. Like, what are you doing, bro? What's the first one I called for?
Land Sabbath.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, hold on. Read what you had Ratazar again, Babu Kashar. And then we're going to go to the land Sabbath to make it make sense.
This is Isaiah 24 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws.
You know what? Curve it off. Curve it off here.
Isaiah 25 and verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Transgress the laws. Now remember, Esau is he's the devil, man. He's gonna go contrary to the laws of the Most High. You know, everything the Lord says do, right? The Lord gave the manual on how to run the earth. Esau's taken that and gone dead set contrary against it. So what do? You get disharmony, you get dysfunction, you know, dysfunctionality. You get messed up shit. That's why we got scriptures like Job 9 and 24. You know, it's all fucked up now because of him. Alright? So from there, let's read the land Sabbath.
Leviticus 25, I'll start at the top. And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep the Sabbath unto the Lord. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard.
There you go. So that's a straight out law. You ain't gonna break that down. It's just self-explanatory, man. But then Esau says, nah, fuck that. Pesticides. You know? You know what I mean? Yeah. Pesticides, yeah. Make it work. The land is you fucking break the land until it's got no more nutrients left. And then you start putting chemicals in there to try it. Nah, we're gonna make that produce. Because remember he's a man of statistics. He's got targets to hit. So he go and violate the planet Earth, right? Just so he can hit his fucking targets, man. What a devil! What a fucking devil! He'll violate the planet Earth. Don't the scripture says that even the trees will rejoice, man? This nigga's gotta go. He's gotta fucking go, man. He'll violate the planet Earth itself just so he can hit his targets. Not realizing if the Earth fucks up, naturally, as a person living on it, you'll get fucked up. Now you got all these cancers, you know, all these sicknesses and things of that nature, and people are wondering why. You know. Alright? Let's go. Well, hold on. Yes.
Second Ezra chapter 6, I read 54 says, And after these, Adam also whom thou madest, Lord, of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and devour us.
Yeah. Lords over us, man. That's Esau the devil, bro. Now who put him there? The Lord. You know you got to go to from there, Job. We quoted it, but let's read it. Yeah. So what we're beholding You gotta come with that matrix,
Ancient.
that matrix kind of talk, man. The existence you behold, the existence you behold is the reality of this devil in rulership. That's what it is, man. The fucking existence you behold is a devil at the helm of the ship. This ain't normal, man. You got niggas under 30 stroking out, dying, heart attacks, you know, all kind of things, man. And you like, what the hell? Yeah, it's because he's spraying shit, man. Giving you GMO foods, right? He's altogether contrary from the law. So let's read the Job.
This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right, so who's responsible for Esau being in power? The Most High. The Most High is responsible for it, man. And this is a lesson from the Lord saying, look, man, when you fuck up on me, yeah, I'm gonna let the devil get in power, and you gonna see what the planet Earth is like. So this whole you know what? Go get it. Go get home. You gonna get it. Did I say it? Did I say it out loud?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't have
I
said
don't
it.
really want to say that.
Yeah, man, it's cool, man. Lord's winning you. you got a Lord will that one, boy.
Camera project.
Yeah, you don't say that on camera, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's cool, it's cool. I thought I said it. I was like, maybe I fucked up. So lucky, sorry. Yeah, anyways, let's read, man.
Job 9 and 24 again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
There you go.
This is another one. Habakkuk 2 and then verse 5, it says, ye also, because he transgresseth by wine, is proud.
the way Chris cold, man. See, we're making our bodies a living sacrifice, yeah. The way the brother said, yeah, that's like a song. yeah. There's a song out there where the guy goes, yeah. It's the code, innit? The language side. Yeah. It's like, bro, singing or something? Hey, man, hey, that's part of the making your body a living sacrifice, man. You know, in my head it's still summertime, but ain't no more, man. It's fucking cold out here, man. It's cold in this motherfucker, man. Alright, man, hey, read that again, bro.
This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire of his health, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him.
So the nigga can't be satisfied, man. That's what you call an insatiable lust.
Yeah.
Someone look, we already know, but for edification's sake, let's look up the word insatiable. When you have an insatiable lust for something, that's demonic, man. Again, you know, your very being is consumed. Your very being is consumed with an insatiable lust, man. Right?
This is a dictionary definition of the word insatiable. It says not satiable, incapable of being satisfied or appeased.
Yeah. So that's the devil, man. He's incapable of being satisfied, man. So no matter how much he has, he's gonna say, that's good, I want more. That's good, but I want more. Man, that's a demon, man. What the hell can you do with that, man? You know, you got niggas, they got insatiable lust for sex, man. That sex demon. Now, is a lot of sex good? Yeah. A lot of sex is great. But then there's a level where you gotta kind of chill out, man. Like, that's why you got people, like, you see, I don't even want to go on that topic, it's just a passing point. But that's why you got groups out there trying to make way, you know, you can have sex on the Sabbath. Here it is, the Lord gave you 6 whole days. 6 whole days to fuck your wife every single way you want. Every which way you want, you can do it. But the one day the Lord said, alright, you can't abstain from your pleasures, do not thy pleasure and keep it holy unto me. oh no, well the law doesn't say explicitly that we can't have sex on the Sabbath. What are you talking about, man? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? The Lord gave you 6 days to do what the fuck you want, quite literally. And the one day, that's it. What does that go back to? An insatiable lust for sex.
Baba Kushai, if I may add to your point.
Or, hold on, bro, outright disobedience. Because now you're gonna have a guy that gets technical. Well, you see the new moon, yeah, really it's 2 days I can't have sex, back to back. Because if the new moon finishes and then another one comes in, then I can't, you know them technical dudes?
Yeah.
Or the last Sabbath cycle, and then the new moon came in, that's that scripture, when will the new moon be gone? That we may buy and sell. Yeah. People, they want to make excuses. Oh, I can't do this because of the Sabbath. Yeah. I can't do this because of the new moon. You got an insatiable lust for pussy.
And you're trying to justify it.
Yeah, you're trying to judge it like that. So I said something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like anyway, the Lord put him to death earlier this year. And when I found out, I was happy, but so it was a Jake. His name was, his code name in the porn industry is called Pussy Breaker. Yeah,
What the fuck is that?
I mean, and
sounds demonic.
Yeah, that's demonic, man. And they tried to say that, you know, when he died, well, his mum had cancer, and he was trying to raise money and all that, but he was in the streets at the same time, man. And when I heard that that guy got put to death, I actually praised him. You know what I mean? You know, I was going to invite you over for drinks. You know, we were happy when that man, when the Lord put that man to death. But, another example is the Panama Canal, because this devil brought over the tribe of Benjamin to build it from the Bahamas. And how many people died? 25 to 30,000 of them, man. He didn't want his people to die, so he shipped over Jake, man. You know?
That's great.
And look how much that has done the environment for, so they can have that shortcut. Zebulon will be what? A haven of ships.
Haven of ships.
Yeah, so he's a devil, man. He's never satisfied.
This is back to what you were saying about guys saying, oh, but it doesn't say you can't have sex on the Sabbath. This is Exodus 19 at verse 14. And Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said to the people, be ready against the third day, come not at your wives.
Yeah, so that means the Lord, the Lord was coming down, the Most High came down in the ship, the chariot. You couldn't be unclean, man. Now, what does sex do to you? It puts you in a state of uncleanliness, man. You and your wife, you gotta wash, wash yourself in water, and then you're still unclean until the evening. And guess what? The scriptures speak about it. Any bed sheet or leather or skin that the seed of copulation goes onto shall be unclean. So, you know, not to get too graphic in that, but you bust your nut, you know, it goes all over the whatever. You know, you make your woman wet and her secretions go on the sheet. That's made the bed unclean. So you gotta wash them sheets, man. So the Lord said you can't do that now. It takes one evening. All right. So you want to play the technical game, okay? Let's say sunset is 6:30, and you have sex at 2 p.m. All right. You take a shower at 3 or whatever. You've washed off. You're still unclean until 6:30. So you're unclean until that evening. Now, because the Most High was coming down, you have to be super clean. So he didn't say 1 day, he didn't say 2 days, he said 3 days. Because that was a one-off, but a very special occasion whereby the Most High was coming down. So he said, you got to be super clean. Don't deal with your wife for 3 days. Your wife for 3 whole days, man. So again, that feeds into the point of our sex on the Sabbath. Now, someone get the law where it says, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy.
That's the Exodus
20.
24.
Because what are you keeping holy? We're going to get into it.
Funny, it's the next chapter from what I was reading. Yeah? Exodus 20 verse 4, no, not 4, hang on, let me see. That's Exodus 20 verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord Yahweh thy power, and in it Thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
Right, so you got to keep the Sabbath holy. As Elder Apostle Tahar broke it down, how do you keep the Sabbath holy? It's by keeping yourself holy. It's from abstaining from all these things. You don't do no servile work on the Sabbath. Alright? And a part of, hey, Jake said, putting in work. You put in work on your woman. So it's like you don't do that. And again, the act of sex makes you unclean. So to keep the Sabbath holy is to keep yourself holy, to keep yourself clean and occupied in the things of the Lord, man. All right. Because hey, let's just be real, man. You up in some pussy, you clapping them cheeks. You ain't thinking about the Most High, man.
It is pretty precepts.
Yeah,
trying not to.
That's crazy, man. You know, over righteous Jake, because I'm thanking the Lord for sex and how you ain't thanking the Lord for no goddamn sex, man. Now, did the Lord make sex? Yeah. Did the Lord make it as pleasurable as it is for a reason? Yes. The Lord made sex very pleasurable. And he did it for a reason, because it's for man's enjoyment and for the process of reproduction. But it's also meant to be a very enjoyable and pleasurable thing. But there's certain pleasures you take part in, you ain't thinking about the Most High in that moment. Thank you, God. No, you're not, man. You're not doing that. You're not doing that, man. You're not doing that, bro. You're thinking about that woman, man, and what you're doing to her. And that's how the Lord made it, man. So how the hell can you do that on the Sabbath day? And, right, yeah. Now you want to start opening the Bible and read it. And first of all, when you're unclean, you can't go to the temple. You can't go in the temple when you're unclean. You can't, what do you call it, man? You can't read the Torah. You can't touch it. You can't touch that Torah. You can't get that Torah blessing. You can't touch it. You can't read it. You can't do anything with it. So why are you there for? What's popping, man? Just gonna take it. Gonna just sleep in that. That's pride. You got two ass women in a glorified red called Mercedes, and you're trying to just roll up like her calling. Don't do that, bro. That's pride. They got the neighborhood watch probably. Hey, bro, this is a funny ass little game. Look across the road. Bye, Bill. Take care. Take care, Bill. Get home safely, okay? Those guys across the road. Yeah. Go on now.
This is Proverbs 11 and verse 1.
Yeah.
A false balance is an abomination unto the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So if you can't abstain from sex on the Sabbath, that's a false balance, man. That's not a just delight, You got all those days to be horny, and be a freak, but that's up to you.
Was that Jeremiah? She's the freak of the week. Remember that song?
Was that song?
Yeah, that was a song. Was it by Jeremiah? Some dude called Freak of the Week. Was it no? Wasn't it Krypton Conan? Something like that. Freak. She the freak of the week. Freak of the week.
There's just some women that are built just for that, man.
Yep.
No. What are you talking about? Some women. All women, man.
Yep. Sex objects.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They're just sex objects.
And you know what? There's different types of what turns men on, right? You can go to a club and see some booty twerking bitches. That will turn you on, but that's a momentary turn. If you want a long-term turn, you know what's a long-term turn on? In the kitchen. Folding that laundry. And running the oven. Alright? There's something about when your wife's pregnant, you want her more. The Lord made it that way. That a long-term turn on is a housewife. You can shake your ass in a club in a thong. That's alright. But I ain't taking you home to wife you. A long-term turn on is a woman in her right order. That's a long-term turn. That's the proper turn on.
Appreciate.
So who you? Oh, she the freak of the week and all that shit. Yeah, where's that gonna get me? That ain't getting me nowhere. Fuck you niggas talking about. She the freak of the week. And there's nothing wrong with your woman being a freak. You want your woman to be a freak for you.
Yeah.
In your bedroom. You know, to work how you want her to. You know what I mean? Your personal. Remember in fucking Coming to America, when she goes, she's my queen. Oh shit. You know. She's my queen.
Yeah, number 2 came on, yeah. It was terrible.
My queen to be.
Yank me back.
Yeah. So he goes, love and affection.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
You know.
Yeah.
Something direction. You know. But that's true though. A personalized woman. That's what it is, bro. You got a personalized bitch, man. Alright. What we got?
Genesis 1:26. I was thinking of this. And Jehovah said, let us make man in his image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So we get into image. It's those laws. We were created in the Most High image, and only us, right? Which were proceeded out of the Adamites. The three different types of men: the sons of the wicked, the sons of the man, right? Goyim nations, and the sons of the Most High. Yahshua, peace with the power. We were given the laws that made us separate. So now everything's so out of sync now, right? Men doing all kinds of going off and talking about sex on the Sabbath.
Yeah, man, doing sex on Sabbath.
And lusting after picturally, which is that's going off too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not lawfully going off, but it's going off morally, it's going off. So we're gonna get back in sync. We're gonna get back in sync when we get into the kingdom. You know, the women, a lot of them are turned off because of all different reasons. But everything's gonna be back in sync when we get back to our laws, which we keep some of the laws to the best of our ability now. But in the kingdom, everything's going to be back in sync. Our women are going to be back in their right minds.
That's right.
And we're going to have a whole heap of concubines. We're going to have wives, as you say, the women in our kitchens. They're going to be our wives, and we're going to make use of the world. The whole world is made for our sake.
You know, I saw a video the other day, two of them wildebeests fighting in the streets with their tickets out.
Wildebeest, yeah?
Standard, like there was nothing, like there was no one around. Couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. It's an all-time low.
Was it on you saw it?
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
No, not live like I was there.
Oh, yeah.
But I saw a video and it's all like around and shit.
Yeah, man.
Hooping and
I
partying
believe
like
it, I
apes.
believe it.
Well, I don't watch that. I can't remember what I saw.
And as Elder Prophet said, when you know a people by the state of their women, and when he talks, you can feel the pain in his heart. I can feel the pain in his heart because that makes us as men, you know, see how low we've come, man.
Yeah, man. No. That's why they must have said, "I'll punish you. Only have I known. Therefore, I punish you for all your iniquities." So if the Lord made us a special people, and we went off, we need to be punished. You know what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing of being His truth. You know, that's the balance. You know why you're suffering, and you know that suffering's coming to an end. That's a beautiful thing, man. The rest of these people, they're just, I'm never gonna get well. You know, they got into what was that place in Switzerland? Veritas, signing up and killing themselves.
Suicide watch.
Yeah, suicide and all that kind of stuff.
They called it euthanasia.
Euthanasia and all that stuff. You know? And I don't blame them, man. But hey, that's not for us. You know what I mean?
You said something though, man. It made me think, you know, it's like when you come into the truth, it's like you really start to shut up. Like you say, you watch your steps. Yeah. When you're in the world, you don't watch your steps, you just do whatever you want to do. You don't feel the consistency. You don't feel the Lord. You don't feel supposed to do. You don't go off sometimes. And it's where it's critical about the things that you're doing. Yeah. These movies ain't got an ounce of that, man. I mean, they just do whatever they want, however they want to do. it's no wonder why you get these little commentators jumping on YouTube and that talking about us the way they talk
The way they talk about us.
Listen, half of this sort of shit is saying to you. Listen, that's not to say that their people ain't doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? But they're only calling us out because they hate us.
Yeah.
If we're calling them out, we're calling them out just because we do that.
They've got something called it's either what, it's a subtly hinted at black fatigue.
Oh, they're not even subtly hinting at that.
Yeah.
That's their thing now. And that's what they selected to do. But they like to jump for, they like to take things from what we say, you know what I mean? Yeah. They like to take it for themselves, but they're not original. That whole black fatigue thing is us as a people being tired of their shit. It's not supposed to be them being tired of our shit. Because they're the ones that always pull the shit.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true. Yeah.
And they do the shit that they do. I just want to say this. They do the shit they do, right? And then they act like they didn't do anything. Like you was the one that did it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they refuse to acknowledge the shit that they've done. All the stuff they've done in Babylon. Just walking on the road.
Yeah.
And then they want to tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, while they're cutting your bootstraps, man. You ain't got no bootstraps.
Yeah, true.
Devils, man.
Yeah, devils.
Gaslighting on a major level.
That's it.
This is James 5, and I'll start at the top. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the labourers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
So that's ill-gotten gains. Everything they got, and what they've ripped off us, they got it in a wicked sense. It's ill-gotten. So here's an example. And I bring this up quite often, but up until 2015 in the UK, people that were paying taxes towards a compensation for slave owners. So that's ill-gotten gains. So imagine that you're descendants of you know, this transatlantic slave trade, and now you're working and you're putting money into that same shit that has your people in captivity. It's ill-gotten gains, so you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. What's he say about the moth eating?
James 5, and
No, read the whole thing again.
I'll start at the top. James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Right. All that they've done to us is going to be done unto them. You know, the curses, man, going to be flipped on them. You know, we're going to put them in hardcore bondage, just the same way they did to us. Not the same way. I have to you know, disclaim it. They basically got shit. We ain't going to be doing all that butt breaking and all that other shit. These Edomite shit that they like to do. But yeah, man, they're gonna get the point.
Verse 2. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days.
Yeah, it's blood money. It's blood money, man. You know what I mean? It's blood money. It's like, you know what I mean? Imagine you're one of them wicked niggas and you just put a hot money to someone to take their money. You take the money and there's your blood in the pot. You can't use that money. It's useless. Basically, everything that they've collected is useless. If there's not, all you're doing is heaping more and more misery that's going to come to you in the kingdom. We're running. Yeah, no.
One more verse, verse 4. Behold, the hire of the labourers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth.
Yeah, that's us, man. You know? And more importantly, you need to talk about the man of the Lord, the elect, because they're the ones that are really silent right. Because these other Jakes out there, they don't really understand what's going on. You know, they still want to join onto these devils, not understanding that they're the enemy. We understand who our enemy is. Scripture says that. You know, never trust thine enemy.
That's it. Revelation 18:6 says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her work in the cup which she hath filled, fill her double.
That's mainly about America, man. Babylon the Great, man. But listen, you other nations, man. I told you about that shop near me, innit? You know, that Elamite.
Yeah.
You know, it's a 24-hour shop. And, you know, I had no gas in that. And, you know, I had to have gas in it. Couldn't wait. So I drove there and that. It's a 24-hour shop. You go in there, the guy's packing away. Yeah, I can help you. You know? Hang on, wait. What? So everyone comes in, is that what you say? He's packing away something. He didn't even look at me. Like, it's almost like he had a radar that black guys in. Yeah, I can help you. I know how to take it, man. You know what I mean? I said, I'm just gonna look around, buy something, then I'll put some money in my card. You know, I just have to be servile. Do you know what I mean? Peaceful. Yeah, exactly. Endure that, man.
But wasn't he, I remember this, wasn't he funny about how he was going to pay for the...
Yeah. He said, oh, you're going to get £10 minimum. You know? So it ain't just Esau, it's these other nations.
But he was being wicked.
He was being wicked.
You know, he would have had it so you go home and have no fucking lights in your house or some shit, or no heating in your house or some shit.
Yeah.
On the basis of a light.
It's gas, basically.
It's Psalms 83.
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Wicked bastard.
That's the spirit, man. Bring that.
That's the basic.
Yeah.
Psalms 83 from the top, yeah? A song of David of Asaph. Keep not thou silent, O God, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Yeah, because as you say, it's like a radar that they got. Their head lift up straight away.
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as you come round, the head lift up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, Deuteronomy 28, bywords and proverbs, bywords and proverbs. It's in their heart, man. It's in their DNA.
Yeah.
2, for lo, thine enemy make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Oh, even I was watching the older Levant. There's things going on now in LA. It's really a backlash from the ICE being over, you know.
Yeah.
What Trump did say we're going to send National Guards over to 19 states.
Yeah.
So the backlash now in LA is that they're attacking, just outrightly just attacking the police now.
Yeah,
in
good.
LA.
That's good, man. Yeah, that's good. That's what we want. That's what we want, man. Yeah, so good.
And you know, it's like you said something about the radar. It's like, I had to explain to my brother the other day, it's like, stop thinking that it's the colour of the house. It's got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Somali can say
Exactly, there's people darker than us.
Yeah.
Sri Lankans. It's not about the skin. There's a spirit that's on them to them. It's the same thing. That's why wherever we go, it's the same result.
Yeah.
You know, I hear Jakes from every continent, every country that they're in saying now they're realising why does everyone hate us no matter where we are, no matter where we go. You know, they're starting to realise. But they don't know the answer.
That's a couple more verses. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So some of them are just highly paid. You've got a lot of them that just took in Edomites that have just took in, they come back in their own spirit, because we had slave catchers, you know, which are the police today. Or you've got the bounty hunters, which they sent bounty hunters after John Bull.
Oh yeah, John Ross.
Yeah, one of the original.
In Seminole. Yeah, Ruben, yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a very interesting, very interesting. And there's a lot of this.
We did that research, right?
Yeah. The rabbit hole goes deep, but just for the scratch the ice, you know, the surface of the iceberg. The bounty hunters now, they're back here in ice, getting paid good amounts of money.
Yeah.
All they've got to do is put masters on and just people are just getting grabbed up. So even brothers, our brothers be saying, we're over here in England. Obviously, we pray before we leave the yard anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even over there, they said they have to be on a more higher alert than ever.
They're on a ruthless.
Even with brothers in the truth, they be saying they have to be on a high alert. Yeah, the man, they're ruthless. So anyway, let me just finish off and then I'm going to I just read for they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against it. And it's frustrating being around Jake now. You've got to do it, you know, corporate world. But they're still trying to figure this thing out. Oh, there is racism, so there is race. You know what I mean? And we done past all that about talking about, oh, there's racism. Of course there's racism. They're still trying to figure it out, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah, your agents now trying to be on the side of these sort of trying to talk down about us. And it's simply they're sold out, simply for the cash. You know what I mean? There's a lot of token outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pushing Esau's agenda. And someone said something, I was watching the video, they said the easiest way for you to make money on YouTube is to get on a podcast or do your videos and talk shit about us.
Yeah, that's true.
Because everybody hates us.
Nick Fuentes, them lads, Charlie Kirk. Yeah,
What's that other one? What's that one that went to the barber shop? See, and that's how they do it. What's the company's name? He went to the barber shop and he's talking, negative narratives about us. But he's dealing with low levels. They don't have to see. And that's what a lot of them are doing, low level. They go to places on university campuses and stuff, but it's children basically. They can't deal with them.
Yeah,
They don't know what they're talking about.
yeah, man. You know, and all them enemies that are in Psalms 83. Remember, if you go to Isaiah 11, the Lord says He's going to gather His place people from around the world, right? One of them is Elam, man.
Exactly.
So in the midst of Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh, all right, our people are there amongst them, and they're suffering like the dialects. I'm not sure. I remember what's his name used to say that as well. I'm not sure. I know the cities are, but the dialects are hated in India. When they had a politician the other week that was promoted, they started going mad. They won't even allow them to bury their children in the same gravesites, man. You know? I've got to do more research on that, but probably jokes, man. You know?
Second Esdras 15 and 16. If there shall be sedition among men and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because ultimately, with Esau's pushing of the ice agents, and you know, you got them going crazy in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
And what's that guy's name? Stephen Miller. You know, he accidentally said the small print out loud, man. Because basically the American government have an authority to take plenary action, meaning that, hey, they're free to deal with the situation however they want to. As Ariel, you said earlier, neutralizing the threat. So if dealing with the problem is wiping out most you niggas in the hood, guess what? They justified in doing that, man. So what's going to happen is the people are going to start taking the course of their action in their own power, man. Because they're realizing finally that the government has always been working against them, man.
Yeah, the trick is that they've convinced the people that the laws that they set up are cemented and they're written in stone and they can't be changed. But when we went into the C19 era, saw that they could just do what they want.
They want,
So that's exactly what's going on over there. They could change what they want. Fucking amendments don't do shit.
There you go. You say they believe it can't be changed, but then you've got all these amendments.
Exactly right.
We've got 613 laws, statutes, and commandments in the scriptures. What amendments do we have, man?
I saw this one. I saw this one where this guy, you know them Deliveroo guys or whatever. Yeah, he was about to get on his electric bike. and then there was a group of ICE agents. They were chasing him, right? He got on his bike and ran as fast as he could, and he outran them, man. And you should have seen them, they were pissed, you know. So can you imagine when Jacob's trouble happens? Said they'll be like, what? It's gonna get mad men.
No. Can you imagine? It is Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of it.
The beginning of it.
That's the thing about these prophecies. I don't think that World War III is going to be on the spotlight. Every war builds. There's stuff going on in the background. They call it saber rattling. And you know, people are talking all this, that, and the other. And you know, there's political talks and whatnot. People are setting their weapons here, there, and everywhere, threatening and shit.
Fight.
What was that?
Curious.
I think they're just nosy.
What on earth is going on here?
He pointed stuff out the car. And I saw like it could be a finger. I ain't taking that for no, do you know what I mean? If I see things coming out the window, what's that about? Go. He was talking about
What was I saying?
something about that. It's not like it's gonna be like a
The build up.
It's like the scandemic. It just landed on us. Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The things that are already happening. Jake is under pressure. Whether it's on the streets, whether it's on the internet. You know what I mean? So, he needs to, man. And it's going to get 100 times worse. When they just do away with like all sorts of law and order, like in their eyes, they're just going to do what they want with Jake.
Alien dialect. Probably the actual solution. This is second Ezra's 8. No, read. This is second Ezra's 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world.
When cars come by the camp, you gotta watch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch because you don't know. It's not always curiosity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Second Ezra's 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Yeah. And that goes for you know, the world and Jake. At the end of the day, it's written for Israel. People are going to get turned over out. Because people are walking around like the Most High don't even exist. And you Jake, and that's why we have Jacob. That's why we have Jacob. Because you're going to get even worse. This is all about you. You don't want to listen to what the prophet's going to say. We're warning you. We're warning you. That's what we're doing out here right now. Against this, what's the scripture talk about? What is a living sacrifice? So what happened with that prophet after that? So it's like the captain's correct. Oh, properly diligent out here. You know what I mean? Your eyes peeled. Your wits about it. You know, Jacob's trouble doesn't just mean that it's going to be the authority in your heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Neighbors.
guys want a phone alert, you know, on the phone. We are now in the time of JT, Jacob trouble. It ain't gonna happen like that, man. It's gonna come up on your ass out of nowhere. You gotta be prepared for it.
Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Because sometimes, like if I try to sleep and I can't sleep, after a while I just say, you know what, let me just get up and do some reading or do a video, man. Because you don't want to waste time, man. Because you could be okay 1 minute and not good the next, you know? So you have to use your time wisely, man. And that's why sometimes being in the truth, the woman diminishes that time. Alright? So the Lord knows what each man can handle and which, you know, things that they can't, man. You know? And we've seen plenty of, me and this elder here, we've seen plenty of examples of men leaving the truth for so-called women. And they're not worth it, man. We'll say that, man, right here. Especially not this low caliber of women that we have now, man. They're definitely not worth it. They're definitely not worth it.
The scripture says what those people are, you so they have.
No, man. Yeah, man. Told me when you go home and your woman's there, you start blanking. You know what I mean? I'm okay.
Sometimes you gotta break it down simply.
Yeah.
So people like
True though, you'll be like that, isn't it? Yeah, what?
you don't exist.
Smelling, you ain't washed in a week.
You don't pay your rent and shit, you just bring home the bacon and you know, bring home that bread and looking after your woman and shit.
Yeah. The woman's like, look, you smell a little bit. She's like, that my money sacrifice. I ain't washing for 5 days. You know what I mean? That's why, man. Sorry. You know? Ah, man,
That comes with the time, man.
Yeah, coming in time, yeah.
Some of these guys are coming, moving a bit too force.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, listen, I'm sure other brothers did it. I remember I was like, when I'm coming to this thing, stoked as fuck.
Yeah.
You couldn't even really talk to me at times. You get, like around the brothers, you know what I mean? But everywhere else, you couldn't talk to me.
Bros told you straight, man. You know, transport, you know, to get all up in your business and shit. But brothers lost out on decent women because of your own, like, ignorances.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, bitch. I'm done with you. You know what I mean? She tries to get on board, and you look back at yourself, and it's like, I was a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to be, though. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
And then man,
true,
Yeah.
I just looked up that word. I know brothers know, but I keep hearing it, so I just done a fact check on it. Mongolian dialectic problem reaction solution. This method basically involves fabricating or intensifying a problem, offering a draconian, we know that word here, draconian. Might go back to Dracon. You know, infamous person that he was known for being very cruel with his laws, which goes back to the word dragon-like. Draconian solution, then settling for a compromise that nevertheless further intended the goal.
That's all the right things, right?
It's basically, it sounds so deep and complicated, but that's what it is. Problem reaction solution.
So this man thinks he's smart, but he's doing exactly what he did in the past. Hey, when Nero was in charge, what did he do? He got his agents to burn down Rome, and he blamed it on Jake. All right, and that's when the pogrom started against Christians. So when you hear about the Roman Empire burning Christians, putting them in a Colosseum, those were all Israelites, man. All right, they wouldn't just really believe that the so-called white man is going to willfully go into a lion's den and lay down his life. He won't do that. He'll be like, right, he'll be running, trying to get up. You know, let me out. You know, a lot of them, they died with dignity. They welcomed it, man. All right.
You got the Salah.
Sorry, go on.
Thinking of the woman and the sons, the 7 sons.
Yeah, I was thinking.
The
The scripture says,
yeah,
she stirred up her manly stomach. So even a woman in her right mind can get in that manly
spirit. Yeah, fuck it. You want to me.
You know what I mean? Those punishers were ordered to boil up the pot.
Yeah.
And they was chopping off limbs, you know, throwing them brothers in and it's each time it was so imagine you're 6.
Watching your siblings out. You know what I mean?
But the only thing, but they had the proof, and that increased watching the one before them too.
Yeah.
And you said something, it reminded me, because like, you know, that AI is crazy right now.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to stitch a lot of niggas up with that.
Yeah.
Right. Because there was a time where, I'm noticing it now, where when they was using the AI, they had to put a written mark on it.
So you knew it was AI.
Now, they can erase that.
Yeah.
And then, look, at the end of the day, if this devil wants to use AI to capture people, to put people on the spot, you don't have to put them in anything. And they're going to use, my point is, they're going to be using that to stitch people up.
Yeah.
You can make a man look like he's doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw a video and they had Donald Trump getting on his knees, unbuckling Vladimir belt in front of people, and it looked real.
Yeah.
So if they can do that shit, imagine what else they can do. It's funny, but it's not funny.
I saw one with Martin Luther King, man. He was chilling with the man then. You know?
Jake's,
And that's the thing, though. And you know niggas are doing it. And like they're supposed that one minute these people are your hero, but then they're not your hero. They're not heroic enough to stop you from knocking them in the next video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense, man.
Doesn't make any sense.
There's this article here that says,
And that shows you that there's certain respects, hypes up given to people, like certain figures in that, because you ain't gonna have an Islamic doing the AI with Muhammad.
no way.
Remember the teacher that called the teddy bear Muhammad? She got fired or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they protest Zion. Yeah.
So that just proves your point. All your so-called black heroes, it's you niggas taking the piss out of them with the AI. So and guess what? You got low-level AI tools that are available to the everyday person. If you look so realistic on the low-level shit, imagine what the elites of ESO's gonna do.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I was trying to say. They've got the abilities to make it look, put it on the big stage, put it on the media, everything. Israelites court, raping or murderers, you know what I mean? They can do that shit. And they do it.
There was one about a year ago, a guy said he's an Israelite, and you could see that he was reading off, like he was looking and reading or whatever. Yeah, he had a gun in his hand and all this bullshit, man. I looked at it, I said, this is bullshit. Psyop. But, they could do that, man.
Yeah.
His miracles that it says in Revelation is his technology, man. Yeah. The Lord gave him that ability to, he's a deceiver, right? He's a devil, right? So add that spirit of being a deceiver, having deceit, the technology, and then having a military, that's gunpowder, man. You're gonna need a higher power to survive all that, man.
Can I say something? That's why they said in the scriptures that you're going to be falsely accused into this AI thing, and our faces up there and everything like that. That's why the Lord says He can command them that stood so stiffly for the word of the Lord. You see?
And that's a good point, because what are you going to do once they set you up?
Yeah, you can't just go
you can't
back.
prove yourself. You can't
That's
prove
it.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's not out here, man.
They don't even argue with you. Minister, this shit.
There's no point. And why would you?
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference. You know,
This AI, what I've been noticing is that what the elders have been using a lot of it, not because obviously they know how to do research and else, but they're just using it to show that we can use his own weapon, his own tool, Esau's tool against him.
It's him,
And that's what's actually, in effect, that's what's happening, because a lot of the things that he's been doing, it doesn't have to do with just to make the point that when they talk about GMS, a lot of the things they're saying, these AI is getting it spot on, talking about how GMS are the most serious cam. It's spot on about a lot of things, and it shows also it's a slap in the face to Esau, because he's been given that gift, right? When it goes back, we talk about the AI, it goes back to his gift, it goes back to the sword. But same way how his sword's going to be used against him, right? The intercontinental ballistic missile is going to be used ultimately against him. Now the prophets today on the roads and the streets doing videos are using AI against him right now. And hence why it's making him even more angry, because it's actually telling him, yes, you are the Edomites. Whereas, and also the MOTV, when you get into the MOTV, AI be getting it spot on. Yeah. And if you want to do this, if you want to find out who are the Edomites, get right. You might not want to hear it from me, or accept it from me. But if you hear it from AI, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, but you say that, but people are more inclined to believe what AI says nowadays. That's right.
Well, that's the point. That's why he's using it, because obviously, people that are not very good with, reading and writing might use AI, but he's using it just to prove a point that yes, we're using this. This is your gift, but it's actually exposing you to who you really are, the devil, and that's the point of why he's doing it.
Yeah, that's it.
not only him, I've been tuning in with a lot of brothers as well.
Yeah.
I've been saying, oh, that's I'm getting on, I'm doing my research.
It's a lot of good things that come out of it. People with learning disabilities, dyslexia, they're using AI, you know? But this man is always going to use it for sinister means.
That's his fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna take something that's used for good and
Yeah.
turn it into good.
Turn it to
Everything
good.
is fine.
And that's his character, isn't it? It is.
This is Ephesians 4, and verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. Now, of course, the first part where it talks about children tossed to and fro, it's talking about the different philosophies of which can influence, of course, an individual of the world. But those of us that are rooted in the truth, in the How Shai, we're not directed by any wind of doctrine. But the reason why I really brought this out was because of the fact that it said, by the sleight of men and the cunning craft.
Slight.
Oh, Salakia. The sleight of men. So obviously the intelligence, the trickery and deception of Esau Eden. Because the fact that AI right now, he can fortify videos which look very real, and then of course, as brothers have said, that it will make a brothers do something that they didn't actually do. And here comes the false accusations, and then of course right now as well, I think recently they had like a robot. I don't know if they were doing it for the jokes or they actually intend to do it. I think as a part of the, not members of parliament, but they want to try and involve AI into making decisions in the court now. So of course all of that, all those false accusations, things will spiral out of hand. So you're gonna have to suffer wrongfully now, as the scriptures say.
If I may add to that point as well, Bob Shah, if you're going to allow AI to start making decisions, the House of Parliament and stuff, that really emphasizes the draconian measures, man.
No, you finished. Just let me finish.
Just real quick, because now there's no emotional element behind it. I mean, it's not like these devils ever had any kind of emotion anyway. Shit.
Yeah, but you just led to what I was about to say. If that's that Terminator 2, what happens in that? They allowed the AI to become the monster.
Became self-aware.
And I'm not saying it's going to go
Became
down that way,
self-aware,
but, they're putting all their trust in this technology, and that's
Technology, yeah. Because he has no faith, anyway. He's not built to have that, man. The way he came back, like the Renaissance period, the way he came back was by deception, man.
Hebrews chapters 12 and 9 says, furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Because the AI, which we know anyway, is a demon, which most likely talks about here. He's known as the Father of spirits. So he's the Father of spirits and he's the Father of AI. So I remember just come to me when I kept hearing about those robots, those AI programmed robots, remote control robots. One of them, this is about 2 years ago, one of them, this is a vision or dream, right? They was on the loose and it burst in through my door, right? And it was a glass, kind of like glass door, and at the bottom there's a glass, and it burst through it, right? And it was in my house sitting down, I think it was in this dream, and it looked at me, and then it went down the corridor, right? Looking for me. Obviously remember they control AI, or remote control. It was looking for me, because this is Jacob. Right? In this vision. So he looked at me, he bypassed me. He came back, and I was lying down. And I think I told some brothers, I told the elder, I was lying down in my sofa, and I had the quilt over me, and it came right up to me. Bearing in mind, have you ever seen them dog-looking ones?
Yeah.
It was that kind of one. It came right up to me, looked in my eyes. I had the cover in my. Obviously, I had to pull the cover down because it could have just. This was the armed one. It could have went drew me up with bullets. Yeah. I had to pull the cover off my. I looked at it. It looked at me. It looked again. It looked at me. Then it just turned away and just went back through the smashed window. So what is it? I'll say that to say in the spirit. They say that they control AI. Who controls AI? So that takes away that fear. That they're gonna know who we are.
optic here.
Okay, that's it, yeah. Hey, like, you know them security devices where you have your eye scan and all that stuff?
That's why
Yeah, retina scanning. We ain't gonna have that technology. We'll like made away, man. Yeah. Go on.
On the point, Isaiah 19 verse 14 says, the Lord Yahweh hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. You know, just like the movie Leave the World Behind. You know, that moment where all the testers just started bugging out, trying to, you know, kill the characters there. It's the same way the most I can make the tools, the so-called artificial intelligence tools, robots and whatnot.
Yeah.
They should just bug out and then go against Esau Edom himself.
Yeah, they're switching. Because you know they've got these AI, I don't know if you heard of the AI soldiers.
Yeah.
Where in China, the UK and America, they're invested in these, it says here, AI soldiers refers to intelligence, integration of intelligence and inter-military applications, enhancing human soldiers with AI-powered tools to develop a fully autonomous robot weapon system. And the ones that are in China are crazy. They can run faster than you, bro. Oh, okay. Well,
maybe 20 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can run.
Now they've got them there to do somersaults, all kinds of cartwheels. They've got them doing all things like that, running up mountain hills, being able to jump up roofs.
Oh, true.
Listen, but the thing is, all that shit you see in the movies, man, that's their imagination. That's what they want to bring forth.
Remember Steven Spielberg 20 years ago had that film called AI.
Yeah. What about what's that one with it's in South Africa and it's Chappie?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chappie. I love that.
It's deep.
I like that film, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chappie, and he called it the parents, mum and dad, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Chappie.
Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. That standard is getting ready to be lifted. You know, you're about to see the investment, the return on investment that comes with presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice, man. You know, the Lord's going to deliver us in many ways. One of the ways is He's going to give us the power to deal with the situation, or we're going to experience divine intervention, man. We come from a lineage of forefathers where one man was putting 1,000 men to flight, bro. Those things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. So what, you think that's not going to happen again? You're getting ready to see something, man, because look, a mere mortal can't deal with these superhuman souls that you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
You know, how the hell we in this flesh, bro?
Yeah.
If hey man, if the tree or something, if this light falls on my head, I'm out of here. You know, I'm done.
If I can say something, right? Because everything is written for our learning, is that right?
Yeah.
So if we believe that Jacob's trouble is coming, we do believe it, don't we?
Yeah.
So why we can't believe that man's gonna have spiritual power?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
That's it. Well, I appreciate it.
It's like chemical reaction,
Yes,
cause and effect.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, there always has to be a balance.
Good balance of things.
This is Psalm 68 and 20. It says, He that is our power is the power of salvation, and unto the power the Lord belongeth the issues from death. So, if it's, as you say, if that lamp drops on your head, then most I don't want you to. If you want it to just bounce off your head, because it's not your time, because you're doing the work of the Lord. Yeah. And it's not even an overstatement, because I'm pretty sure brothers and people don't know. When I look back in hindsight, sometimes the most I make things, you remember things. You think, boy, what are you about to do?
Listen, I can tell you.
It was up to him, that could have been the end of it.
When I was a youth, proper young, my brother was younger than me. We was in someone's house, we was in the park or something, and they had a packet of darts. And we, like an idiot, told my brother to stand up by the front door. And I'm throwing the darts here. And I threw one of the darts, and I couldn't see where the dart was. And he didn't know where it was. And when I walked up there, this dart was hanging from his eye. Listen, let me tell you, I would have died that day.
Yeah.
If anything happened to my mum,
He was alright,
he was fine. He didn't even know he was there. And when I look back on that now we have that understanding. You're like, it's mercy.
That's mercy.
Yeah, it's messy.
I can't quite remember, but I was still going to junior school. Pretty sure of that. Where we was living at the time, that's where we were still going to live. We moved when I started my second year, so we were still going to school on the road. And still certain people had to go to after school. I was working and all that. So, yeah, man, that was crazy.
It's crazy.
There's other things obviously, but that one springs to mind because that has to take some divine intervention for the thing to not pierce and for him to not even feel it.
Don't need to feel it. Oof.
It's a precept on that point.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs 22:15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the word of correction shall drive it far from him. So we do certain things with the children, like I remember doing crazy shit as an adult. Why would you ever do that? As children, we sometimes partake in that folly, which is why we need good parents to guide us, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man, when I think back to that, I think, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck was I doing at that moment inside? And what was my brother thinking that I was that guy, that super aim guy? Yeah, it was crazy to see how much Shana did left.
Yeah. And there's a lot of problems here that are not supposed to be here, man. It's not even Lord's wills, man. That's all I said to my daddy, I said, he took me to an appointment with my dad was a doctor, and he went to, listen, I know he's your son and that, but I must tell you that 12 is your best chance, you know what I mean? This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. My dad, he's a medical guy, innit? So he was actually listening to what he's saying. But I'm still here. And it's not because of me, it's because the Lord has willed it, man. A bit battered and bruised, but I'm still there, man. Still in the fight, Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man, So when those hard times come, because you have to get ready to lose things, man. We're gonna lose everything anyway, I'm not sleeping in a park like this, man. Do you know what I mean? That's why when I see them homeless people and all that stuff and all that thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes I just live, man. I don't care who it is. Yeah.
Listen, and if you're not thinking of meditating on the Bible, just said things like that, you're taking it seriously. I'm the type of guy, when I'm on my travels here, I'm looking at spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Looking at spots. Like if when it goes down, can I feed it? And look, you're just doing it in your mind. There's no telling what's going to happen. On a casual thing. Yeah. We all know that there's no telling. For all I know, I might not even get that to do anything like that.
Yeah.
I could get captured or whatever. Or even worse. Or even better. Yeah, man, you're supposed to be meditating on these things.
Yeah, meditating.
Isaiah 41:30 says, For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, yea, men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. So the flesh is, as you say, the flesh, the survival instinct be kicking in, yeah? Self-survival, self-preservation. Something called self-preservation. Just comes to me. But yeah, because you're thinking, if I have to, even I was just earlier on, me and Caleb was looking at, just looking around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything, but just looking around and saying, if something jumped off, if that jumped off, I'm going to do that. If that jumped off there, I'm going to do that. Just in the flesh. But ultimately, as the brothers were saying with that incident, if the Most High is with his elect, he's with his elect. At the end of the day, he's going to be with his elect.
Ultimately, we want to see it through. That's really why we want to be able to escape or whatever. We want to see it through to the end. That's all it is. It's nothing to do with be
Okay, no
fearful
problem.
of any consequences.
Sorry.
man.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
I'm definitely a tribe of Israel.
Oh, is it?
I'm a real one.
That's good, man. That's good. Good man, what's that there, man?
Okay, take care.
Hey, God
Take
bless.
it, take it.
God bless, man.
Imam himself, I don't know what to say on camera.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. At the end of the day, we want to see it through to the end. We want to see it popping off. We want to see the destruction of this wicked kingdom. We want to see how much all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, that good stuff. But you want to go through the hard stuff as well, man. You know, you want to test. Like, if the Lord said to you, listen, you know, for one of you, there's a golden ticket and you just walk to the kingdom of heaven. I wouldn't want it, man. I want to go through them.
Oh, that's why
You know what I mean?
That's why your name is your name. That's why you have that name.
Yeah, that's why the Lord gave me that name. I wanna test myself. I wanna go through all that stuff, man. You know? Yeah, you know, I don't wanna have some free meal. Yeah, shortcuts and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Dumping from most things, so, you know.
This precept, I was just going to say something that's on my mind. I said something earlier about how, you know, time when the truth changes you, the way you do things, the way you do things.
Yeah.
This guy's working through, he's telling us that he's a real one. Now, I remember back in the day, if he had said that, we'd have been on his arse.
We would have cursed him out. I would have
cursed him out, would have told the scriptures out, everything. No, man, full job on. But he's a real one.
Caleb, do you remember the two remember the two Ronnies? Have you heard of the two Ronnies?
What do you call
Yeah. He reminds me of the other one, isn't it? Cool one. Little one, isn't it?
Little
What do
Ronnie.
you call it? Ultimate fool according to his folly.
Yeah. It reminds me of Tony. You remember Tony Robinson?
Tony Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does the historical thing.
Yeah, the historical thing. He's Jewish. He is Jewish. Huh? He reminds me of him. Yeah. So.
You know, in relation to what you said, maybe it's a case of real recognize real, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, you could.
You know what? You never know.
You don't know.
I'm laughing.
You don't know.
I was thinking that.
Play the
as well.
balance. You have to play the balance, man.
You
Think
said-
peaceably.
Yeah.
Precept. This is the book of Psalms 30. Shall I give you? Psalms 34, verse 18 to 19. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as to be of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord our power delivereth him out of them all.
Yeah, many are afflictions of the righteous. So you're supposed to go through a lot of things, man. It's like it in your life, man. And if you haven't, don't worry. The Lord bring His truth. You don't go through things, you know. And it's changing, just like you said. I would say, well, 4 or 5 years ago, a guy like that came, we would have cursed him out, man. You know what I mean? I would have been the first one. I don't know, first one to strike him. You know what I mean? But now, we have what's it called, spiritual discernment. You know, to judge well. You know what I mean? Listen, it's just like a boxing match. Certain boxing matches, you can come out in the first round and just knock this guy out. Certain, you got to pace yourself. You know what I mean? Dance around the ring. You know, jab there, jab there. You know what I mean?
And that's the stage we're at.
Yeah.
He's falling already, man. He's just taking them out piece by piece.
Yeah.
Then people are feeling similar. Everybody hates him now, man.
Yeah, everyone hates him. Yeah, everyone hates him.
They've been exposed.
Yeah, so catch you next week, man. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.